Welcome to the show. Hello, Nicole and Yvie.
Hello.
I've got some sad
Feels weird
news.
smiling.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Um, I received word a couple of days ago, and it was only one source, and I wasn't sure. But I can now confirm that Obi and Defo, Ragnar in Stargate SG-1 has passed. Um, I got word about this through a couple of friends and wasn't going to say anything until I knew for sure. I've got a couple of sources here, News 4 Los Angeles and the Daily Mail.
Hmm.
They're referencing his time on Dawson's Creek a lot more
Yep.
than Stargate
Obviously.
SG-1. What was he
Yes.
in? Was he in Dawson's
I
Creek
love him in
considerably
Dawson's
more?
Creek. I have
Okay.
a whole spiel.
Didn't he played like it was like Katie
Holmes's
Katie
brother-in-law.
Holmes's
Holmes's
brother-in-law.
character's brother-in-law, Bodie
Yeah.
Wells.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
from 1998 to 2002.
he was a
Mm.
good egg. He was a
Really?
great character. I was
I'm
really
not
fond of his
surprised to hear that.
character. I was mad he didn't get more screen time because he deserved it.
Right.
They always kind of talked about him off screen being like, "Oh yeah, he's working tonight, so we're babysitting the kid."
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But
So
he
let
was a good
me
egg.
read the obit from Daily Mail.
Yep.
Dawson's Creek star Obi Indefo has died at the age of 51, 5 years after losing both of his legs in a horrific crash. His sister has
Mm.
confirmed the cause of the actor's death is unknown, but his sister and co-stars confirmed his passing in a heartfelt social media tribute.
Yep.
Heartbroken at the loss of my younger brother and knowing he's finally at peace, his sister, Nakeem
Yeah.
Indefo, said Saturday on Facebook. He's a graduate of Yale, appeared in Dawson's Creek between 98 and 2002, where he played Katie Holmes' character's brother-in-law, Bodie Wells. Additionally, he starred as Ragnar in SG-1 between 2000 and 2005. I remember the news of him surviving this horrific crash 5 years
Mm.
ago and just
Mm.
being like, this is an amazing human being. And watching the story of his recovery, we emailed back and forth for a number of years to try and get him on Dial the Gate, and
Oh,
we just couldn't. We
couldn't
just couldn't
make it
make it
work.
work. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's one of those
Yeah.
where it's like another one's story we're never gonna have for the Stargate series. So I'm dealing with that disappointment at the same time
Mm.
that
Mm.
that the Stargate community itself has lost a great actor. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, much like his character, he was a
hmm
fighter in real life. And he had a lot of adversaries to overcome. And from what I can tell, he did that with, a lot of strength and a lot of grace.
hmm
I think he said somewhere that he had forgiven the person that had hit him. He was hit by a car. And I can't even imagine how much it would take to do that.
Yeah. I remember when it first came up, I was like 5 years ago, so sometime around like 2019 or something. And I think as soon as I heard
2019.
it,
Yeah.
I saw the GoFundMe and I like just donated my measly pennies.
Yep.
Because I was like, every little helps, as Tesco would say. The shopping brand in the UK. Bad joke. And I just remember the campaign was still like ongoing for a very long time because American
Mm,
medical bills are no joke.
no,
Um,
absolutely.
mm,
and
mm.
he needed like lots of money to like progress and get better prosthetics and improve the process for
Prosthetics.
his
Yeah.
living. And
Yep.
I don't
Exactly.
know where that ended up, how he was
I
doing
think
leading up
he
to this,
did.
but
I
I hope
think
he
I
was
saw it
okay.
was either 100K or 200K, and he was able to get better quality prosthetics
hmm
and also do his home up to work for him better, with ramps
So he could
and
get around. Yeah.
railings and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that he was very active in the yoga community. I think he was a yoga teacher.
Yeah.
And I think I saw somewhere, it might have been on his Instagram, I think he was in the running to win an award for yoga practice. I don't know how recently it was. But
Um,
yeah, it's just heartbreaking.
he also
Mm.
worked as a writer and taught yoga to twice exceptional children gifted with special needs.
Yeah.
Went on to continue his acting writing work after his accident. He created a show called Juice Bar and appearing in the show NCIS Los Angeles in 2001. At the time of his death, he's been working on a series called Dream Big. This is... It's always frustrating, watching, someone triumph over something that's this enormous. And then hearing this news, it's like, okay, what the hell happened? What happened to this guy? And it's,
I
makes
honestly,
me sick.
I don't know what it was. I'm really hoping that it wasn't
Tragic. Well, I mean, it's tragic one way or the other,
things.
but you were hoping it was, you were
Not
hoping he was
self-inflicted.
he was healthy.
happy.
Yeah, absolutely. You're hoping he was happy.
Yeah.
And he was just, yeah.
Well, the fact that his sister said, he's now at peace.
I know that.
Yeah,
that kind of made me
what
think
worried
that he
gnawing
was.
at me ever since I read this because
me too.
for all of us who loved him and who loved his character, it's like, okay, that's
none of our business, but it's
sucks. Chewing on you as someone
it is
who cared about him and his character. Having said that, boy, is it eerie that we're watching The Warrior today.
I
honestly,
know.
This is his second biggest episode.
I was
so
shook.
It is. It really is.
When I heard about this news, I wasn't like I didn't want to believe it. I was like, no. This is one of those we're calling out people gone. Yeah, and all of a sudden, I think I saw the actress who plays Dawson's mum putting on Instagram some videos together of him on set on Dawson's Creek, and then Katie Holmes was like liking and sharing, and I was like, that's when I realized that it was like legit, and I was like, oh
yeah,
God.
Well, I saw it as a rumor. It was Saturday my time. Saturday morning my time,
that's
and
when I first got
I
it.
reached out. I reached out to Dave and I said, "Have you heard this? I can't substantiate it with anything." There was literally, I think, a post on Facebook and a post on Instagram, but there was nothing official.
Yeah,
and
can't run with it until you get confirmation.
No, you can't. And then, this morning there was so many, so much outpouring of love for him, and I was hoping, obviously that it wasn't true, but it's been basically confirmed now. So
one of a handful of satellite talent in SG-1 who got a complete arc, and
yes,
it was a very satisfying one to watch. This guy torturing Teal'c in season 4, and by season 9 being playing a substantial role in the rebuilding of the civilization. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, he actually has quite a he has a big impact at the end of this episode. At the end of The Warrior, he has a speech at the very end, in support of Teal'c. And
I think it was always my favorite of the Jafar. That obviously wasn't Teal'c.
Of the satellite cast, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because there are loads of people who come in and out where you're like, oh yeah, you're okay, you're fun, but then like Ragnar was always just the goodest guy. And also the way he came in and like appeared with the with his forehead scar.
Yes, he was the only one who had something like that. Yeah,
it's such a like traumatic kind of thing to have a character have, being like, whoa, that's messed up.
Well, it's like it's like a visual reminder of his story and where he's come from, and it's very
at least
powerful.
his father's defiance, and then his. Teal'c didn't even do that, but it's because of Teal'c. So, Anthony said, I was upset when I saw this news today. Dan Ben, rest in peace.
Jacob's apparently getting married.
Congratulations.
This is a bad time for you to come in and say that. I hope you have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Is he getting married today?
No, he says going to Indonesia to get married and travel, so he's not going to be around for the next month. So have a good time, Jacob.
Jed Ted, rest in peace, Ragnar. Feel safe in the Warriors. It's today. So I liked Dan Ben. I liked the character. Good actor. Dawson's Creek was huge at the time. I never saw it.
I watched it.
No, I haven't seen it either.
And by few, I was 15.
Yeah. Was he not also in Star Trek, David?
Yes, he was. He was in an episode called Blink of an Eye or Wink of an Eye. I can't remember which one was in. I think it was blink of an eye in Star Trek Voyager. It was one of the time periods where this planet was revolving far faster than our time frame, and he was in one of the older eras of this world. So
okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, he was
Good sounding episode.
He was really it was a good one. Yeah, he was a Lord Protector, I think his name was. So yeah, he will be missed.
Before we start diving into the rest of the episodes and all the stuff we're gonna do, I do want to just say that like we're getting to the point now where we're losing Stargate actors more as time goes on. But what's really shocking to me is we're losing some of the younger ones,
Right?
and I hate it.
It's always more devastating.
I'm waiting for the older ones to get older and lose them, and it's really sad to lose them, but at least like a life.
But those
like,
are anticipated,
done.
and these are
Yeah.
it's like. What's going? Yeah,
I don't expect
halfway
a
through, literally halfway through his life.
Peace Rider. Life is a lottery.
Yeah,
At a certain point,
what?
yeah.
It's bull. I'm sick of it. I can't do anything, but I'm mad at it. I'm mad at life, because there are people who don't deserve this. So like it really
No one deserves to die that young.
No,
51 is nothing.
No, it's not.
My dad and stepdad have only just crossed the 50 line a few years ago, so they're just past that point, and it's just like I can't imagine them feeling over. So
well, given that he was such a staple in the yoga community, I wanted to say namaste, which basically means the divine in me honors the divine in you.
You're so cute. Oh God,
I wouldn't have
Yvie,
thought
that's
that.
adorable.
Yeah,
And I'm a fan of
so
Lost,
good.
so
yeah.
Maybe I'll like go do some yoga poses later on, just like and think about him, because you know what, it's always good. And
well, he's going to be on all of our minds for a while. So
Yeah.
I wish all of his family and friends the best.
I hope
peace
that
in this time.
I don't know what the outcome was here or how this happened, but I really hope that people who are struggling with mental health are getting help that they need. In the event that that's what it was, I don't know, but I think that it's important that we all look after ourselves.
Yeah, remind ourselves of that.
And
for sure.
look at
because he certainly had those issues after his accident and overcame them in a magnificent way. So yeah.
So everyone,
it's important
just,
to remember
keep fighting.
that we all are tested, in various ways throughout our lives, and it's how we get back up, not how we fall. That shares our character to each other. So,
well said.
Our thoughts go out to his friends and family for sure. Adam has submitted artwork for our episodes today. No, we'll pull it around.
I know. I'm trying to keep it in my head, but also
Oh dear.
So the first episode is kind of a disaster comedy, fail safe.
Yep.
And then we have The Warrior, which is at the end of the day, I suppose it's a warning against false prophets. So do you guys have the link to Adam's art?
Yes,
the links?
I do.
Okay. Go ahead and pull up fail safe.
Ooh. From the point of view of the asteroid. Oh my god. I can almost hear that like bolero style music that they play in the episode.
It's coming. I've seen this one. It hits Paris.
Wow.
Oh jeez. Yeah. Well done, Adam.
God.
Earth
the
looks
detail
great.
on the asteroid is
I like
great.
the
makes me think of cheese.
Yes, I like the lens
Well,
flare.
the moon is made of cheese.
Everyone knows
Exactly.
the moon is made of cheese. I like the lens flare shooting down in this lower left-hand corner here. That's really cool. I like the Terminator and the on both of them actually, and the light and the dark, and you can see the edges of the craters on the left side of the
it's
the dark.
Well, my
Or the right
initial
side of the
thought
dark, the left
is
side of the light.
yeah, my initial thought is what a beautiful image, and then you're just like, oh crap.
Right.
That's literally a huge asteroid headed towards a planet that is potentially populated.
Don't worry, it's about to get hyperspaced. So, well done, Adam. Very cool. You guys ready for The Warrior?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow. Okay.
I'm gonna have to send this
I
out to
know.
Rick Worthy. He's gonna like
Oh,
this.
yes. Yes. Well, like, I'm pretty sure this is the image that Adam struggles with of the two, but that's come together perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
Absolutely.
medieval, like a
Uh-huh.
medieval
Well, yeah, the
interpretation.
helmets
It
in the
is a little
background and
bit,
everything else. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I like
You
that.
know,
I like that.
there's
You know,
it only has so much Stargate
there's only
data,
so much you can
but
do
the glowing
with
eyes
the
are great.
warrior. Yeah.
Mm,
You
mm-hmm,
know, they're
mm-hmm.
really great.
He's very stern.
He is rather stern.
And the like he's like the furrow in his brow.
Exactly. I grow tired of this. It is time.
Yes. Yes.
Very well done.
Oh
I love it.
man.
Yeah. That smooth forehead. I want whatever
Very
he's using.
smooth. His
So.
forehead's as smooth as his
I-
personality.
yeah. I was gonna say I've got lots of like acne coming up on my forehead, so that's a dream forehead right there.
Thank you, Adam. These are great. Okay. You guys ready for failsafe? Ready for a little
Yeah,
bit of a lighter
almost.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's laugh a little bit before we're like. I almost wish we were doing Warrior first, so we could kind of
I
get some of the
know.
sadness
Exactly.
done. But now we're gonna have to
We
return
could
to
watch
it.
them backwards, but there's
It's just something wrong
It's
about
too
that,
hard.
isn't there?
It's fine.
We're a completist in the
Oh my
right
God.
order.
Yeah, it just feels silly doing it the other
Yeah.
way. So we'll end on you know what? We'll
Yeah.
end on a high of seeing
will.
Obi
Yeah.
again. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and reveling in his talent.
Absolutely.
yeah, his beautiful
Yeah,
talent. Beautiful.
yeah.
Guys, ready to, well, let me see here.
Yes, ready?
Okay, hang on just a second here.
Having a bit of an issue with my right contact lens, but
Uh-oh.
I'm ready to go.
You have to be able to see.
That's why I
No,
wear
I can
glasses,
see.
can't be
It's
asked
just like
contact
kind of
lenses.
itchy.
Oh, no. Okay.
It's like a bit of dust or something.
I will say, right, you know, I'm always
Mm.
commenting on how pretty people are in this show, but like I think Ragnar is one of the prettiest.
Oh
You
yeah.
know? Like I don't know if
Gorgeous
I
man.
appreciate it enough. He's so beautiful.
Alright, let me
I
pull
would have
this
taken
outside
him
here.
over like Pacey or Dawson any day.
All right. So we're going to start off with failsafe here. Everybody got that one queued up, ready to go?
Yup.
Yes,
All right,
indeedy.
let's go ahead and start that off here. Failsafe in 5, 4, 3. Welcome to Wormhole Extremists. My name is David Reed. I'm with Nicole Rodriguez Galdo
Hello.
and Yvonne Cahill
Hello.
and a guy, his dog, and his Winnebago.
Yes, and a very impressive telescope.
Yes, for sure.
So, I was thinking about what I'd call this episode, and I think I'm going to call it the one with the suspicious asteroid. But some other people online called it something different. Someone on Reddit called it the one where SG-1 prevents a deep impact, preventing Armageddon, thus saving Paris. And another Redditor said, I've seen this episode. It hits Paris.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, the name of this episode does refer to the point of no return for the asteroid. So,
Yep, I had a lowrider just like that. Is it a basset hound?
oh, did you?
Yeah, who lived across the street from me. Not mine, but lived across the street from me, named Molly.
Oh, Molly.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So this is us intimidating you to shut up. Now we're gonna handle it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, this episode was written by Malozzi and Mully, but according to Joe, I think the episode was written mainly by Paul.
Okay. This is true.
So that's apparently a reference to Armageddon.
Yes.
And we'll
Watch the
see
big
the
chunk
Paris
hits.
joke
Yeah.
again in Citizen Joe.
Yeah.
Persuaded.
to keep quiet.
Yes.
How do you persuade someone who believes that the end is here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even with like the asteroid's weird trajectory, it does get super close to Earth. So it's sort of wild that more amateur astronomers didn't spot it.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, we put that aside.
At least we found it at all.
True. So they're just referencing Red Sky and I think Between Two Fires.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of callbacks in this season.
There really
Obviously,
is.
the
Yeah.
previous episode before this, we're going to find out, is responsible for this one here. The meetings that we saw. Before he rejoins the System Lords, he will destroy Earth.
I wanted to say as well that to put the asteroid size into perspective, the one that wiped out the dinosaurs was only 81 kilometers. So size of this one, like if it was real, we'd be seeing it in the sky like a second moon, and our tides would literally be going crazy.
Yeah, that's true. As it gets closer, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that Stargate doesn't have the budget for that. So.
And this one is, double insured, where if they decide to detonate it before it hits us, it'll irradiate the planet, boil the oceans.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that they can do except somehow extend the magical energy field of the cargo ship's hyperspace window around this asteroid and fly an asteroid through Earth. Yeah.
I'm assuming you have some problems with this, David.
Not as bad as Vala being magically somehow ringed into the Ori galaxy and deposited safely on a planet, near an Ori village.
Yeah, that was a bit far-fetched.
That one is the biggest stretch.
But hey, you know what? She was
so
spawned. She was like about to spawn. They're like Ori Satan.
That's true too.
So,
They may have had something to do with it.
Yeah.
But she wasn't conceived yet, so.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how much of this was of the shots of the Asgard was taken from
Red Sky.
Yeah.
And just timed with their mouth movements as best as they could.
Possibly, yeah.
The straight on
Or if
shots
they were...
of them, is probably new.
Yeah, they're not going like
Maybe.
two on them for these shots.
Yeah, like that's obviously, you just put them in the chair and do it, but the wider shot of all of them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, if they were really organized, could they have shot it at the same time and then just like saved it?
Probably, but the failsafe was, or the warrior.
Red Sky.
Red Sky was early enough in the season that this one wasn't ready to go, I'm sure. Very. It's hard to believe that the Asgard would have just been like, good luck, but they really were.
Well, they kind of were, yeah. Although, I mean, they did manage to find a loophole in Red Sky, but
not for us.
They don't really seem to be trying. I love that because, like, considering the Asgard are clones, did they even have mothers?
No, that's what I was thinking.
At some point they did, I'm sure, but now they don't.
Yeah.
Deflect.
Yeah, aren't we working on that right now? We've created we're trying to create the technology to be able to make asteroids go away if they get too close. So is nobody seeing that? I saw a recording of it. There's a video of it on the internet.
Like asteroid go by.
Yes,
like
there was there was an asteroid coming, like not coming towards us, but going in a direction, and they deliberately tried to smash something into it in order to try and make it veer off course in a direction they wanted. They recorded it, but it was like watching a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, sure. Did it work?
No.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so we have managed to successfully divert asteroids, is what you're saying.
We've diverted like one in the properly planned visuals that I saw.
If it were actually to ever come, if one actually were to come toward us,
so we can breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, there's hope.
I wonder how big that one was. It probably wasn't the size of Texas.
No, it was not.
No,
but maybe one day.
Yeah, well, go Elon.
So they've obviously mentioned Davis. So as fans would know, obviously something serious is going down. And apparently this prop here, the Malp, gets recycled later as the M9 Gatebuster warhead in the 9th season episode Beachhead.
Oh, what's on top, you mean? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to say as well that apparently, and I don't know how true this was, but according to one person on Reddit, Sky One in the UK actually gave Failsafe its world premiere, but it aired before Summit and Last Standing, so British viewers got a sneak peek of SG-1 fixing a ship that they hadn't crashed yet.
Really?
That's
an interesting tidbit.
Also, this is David Bloom as Spellman. This is actually his
Bloom.
second Stargate episode. He also appeared as a scavenger in Prisoners.
Okay.
And he does return as Eldred in the
Destroyer of
second Atlanta
Worlds.
season episode, The Tower. Yes.
Yes.
Also, Carter said before that the bomb is 1,000 megatons. So to
1,000
put that,
tons of TNT, wasn't it?
yeah, she said megatons, I think.
Oh, she mentioned
so
TNT, so yeah.
she did, yeah. So to put that into perspective, the biggest real life nuke was the Tsar bomber, which was only between 50 and 58 megatons.
That we
This
know
is, like,
of.
double that, yeah.
Yeah, but actually, like, did we set that one off, right? Not we,
Yeah.
but it went off, right?
Yes,
Earthlings.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Earthlings set it off.
So-
yeah.
Right.
Did you guys notice that they actually trudged through quite a muddy path to reach the Teltac, and there's not a single dirty footprint on the ship's floor?
Imagine if they added that detail.
Also,
Gold floor
standing-
mats.
Standing next to Spellman was Greg Anderson as Weber. This is his
Yes.
first outing in SG-1, but we've become
Hallowed
better
on the
acquainted with
Ori.
him in seasons 9 and 10
That's right.
as an Ori administrator and prior. Sorry, I've got like tons of notes. They actually just mentioned bathrooms. So
Yep, there are.
the bathroom
I
joke
love to know the
is a
bathroom
cheeky
situation.
nod to how sci-fi usually forgets people need to pee.
Yep.
Exactly.
Even in
Thank
space.
you.
And someone on Reddit thought about like whether the Asgard have bathrooms and whether they have bathroom habits. One thought was that they beam out their waste, and another
I love
guess was
that.
that their clone bodies are so efficient that they don't need bathrooms, and they basically switch bodies before nature calls.
I'm not
I
gonna
love
lie.
this
Oh,
shot
I
here.
love
Here's
this little
here's
shot.
Jack
Yeah.
being useful.
Love it. No, as a person with IBS, that is my dream, to just be able to just beam things out or switch bodies. But
I love
yeah,
how
it's-
he's
Passed
fallen
out on-
asleep
yeah,
like
thank you.
right in front of a nuclear device.
Yeah, I think I'd like to thank Stargate for my appreciation of bathrooms. So thank you, Richard Dean Anderson, for always finding a way to
on
bring
that screen there were the inside of a DHD too on that screen on that the documents that they were using on the top left
Yes.
portion were taken from the Fifth Race.
We also just missed.
I was gonna say, isn't
the-
that guy in season 9? And he annoys the hell out of me in season 9.
Yeah, that's what we were
prior?
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
prior.
Oh yeah.
Hallowed are the OI. Yeah. What were you saying, Evie?
Oh, I was gonna say I didn't get a chance to bring up that we just missed this episode's catchphrase. So the "I'm confident" routine.
Me too, as am
They
I. Yeah.
repeat it. Yeah, they repeat it
Yeah.
a few times.
And this is a reference to Tangent.
Tangent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. That everyone's so
Crank it over.
nervous.
Crank it.
Yeah, I love how they mention Tangent because he's like,
Oh,
I'm gonna have to
dear.
have a word with you guys.
Try it again.
I love the
It's
powering
flooded.
down.
Give it a second.
It always makes me laugh when the ship just doesn't start. It's like it's just gone a bit flaccid, you know. That's where my brain goes.
Yeah, it was left sitting
Too
for
long.
so long.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
6 billion people. This is the second time this season that we've gotten that number.
Oh God, yeah. What are we at? 8 now? Nearly?
Yeah, we're at 8.
Wah.
I'm gonna want to talk to you
Jeez.
guys.
That would have been a horrible enough experience that it would be like, yeah, I would. I'm going to write a strongly worded letter to the White Star Line about this.
Strongly worded letter.
If you guys get that reference.
No, I can't say I do.
Never
Titanic.
do.
Oh,
As Jack
of
is
course,
freezing
of
to death.
course.
Literally.
Oh.
Yeah. It's my mother's
It's a
favorite
movie
It's my
that
mother's
upset
favorite
me
movie.
so much. I haven't seen it probably more than like maybe twice.
I
I think I've
Say I
only ever
blame
seen
ya.
it twice because I'm the same, yeah.
Okay.
I care about it less and less as it becomes like, you know, as the jokes got excessive with both of them could fit on the door. So
Yes.
less bothered now, but still.
So this is Colin Cunningham's second and final episode this season.
Yep. It's fitting that an episode that's very similar to Tangent, he's back in a very
Of course
similar
he is.
position. Yeah. It just shows what a
Poor guy.
great guy Colin was, that they were like, let's have Major Davis back, you know?
Yeah. I feel bad for Major Davis
Why?
because he just always has to. I mean, like, I know that it's his job. You know, he literally works in like, you know, like PR or whatever.
He's
but
facilitating story is what he's doing.
I feel like he'd be just probably on a diet of like antacids because there's so much stress.
You know, at least he gets on to the Gould ship in Descent. You know, he got his due to
he
be a
got to do
part of the
something.
mission. That was cool to see him
Well,
in an SG
technically, this episode, although we don't see it on screen, this is the first episode I think that he and Walter go through the gate, because assumably they go through to the Alpha site.
Yep.
Mm.
A greater that's so deep that you can somehow see the Earth outside when you're coming in and out of the cargo ship. Okay,
Ooh, burn.
that's one of my issues.
But it makes for good cinematography.
It does. It does.
Also, Sam just mentioned the name of the episode. I don't know if you guys used to ever do this, but if like a character in a TV show or film that you're watching says the name of the film or the TV episode, you say huzzah. Have you ever done that?
Nope.
So it's like a verbal game of Snap.
I say huzzah because of the great. I guess I try to use it in that way, but I only do it because of the great. I actually never really used it in any other way knowingly.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I've learned something.
Really quickly, I discovered a great website yesterday called Nestflix, NESTFLIX.fun. Go check it out at your convenience. It is a website dedicated to shows within shows.
Oh, that's
So,
really
if
cool.
you
Wow,
wanna
someone's
learn all
taken a lot of
about-
time and effort to do that.
So
That reminds me of the
Yeah.
of another website that my friend told me about. I can't remember who the actor is now, but he's really famous, and it was like how many actors or shows or credits away from this from the actor is this.
Kevin Bacon.
So
Yeah.
that's it.
The Bacon
That's
number?
it.
Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon.
Yes.
Oh, the Bacon number. Oh my
Mhm.
God.
Everyone has a Bacon number.
Yeah.
Oh wow, so it's like the 6 degrees of separation.
That's exactly
but with Kevin
6
Bacon.
degrees of Kevin
Oh
Bacon.
wow.
Uh-huh.
That's it. That's what it's called. Thank you.
Sam's always getting zapped.
Yeah, she really is. But I mean, she works with electronics, so
Big
I guess it's
asteroid
just
problem.
It's a hazard.
Oh gosh. And somehow they seem to be lodged in a deep chasm.
No, everything's going wrong.
Yes, but they're very calm about it.
This
Yeah.
episode is one of those where it's like, okay, you know, the stretching of the believability, especially with Jack getting the sequence of wires right, you know, that
Oh my god.
at a certain
Isn't
point,
it they're
second to
all
last.
they're all
you've
yellow?
gotta buy it.
Yeah, they are all
they're
yellow,
There
yeah.
are 5 wires. They're all yellow.
Yeah.
And if we cut the wrong one, you won't even know it.
That should be one of the next trivia questions. What color were the wires?
That's a fair point.
Okay, so does this scene kind of remind anyone else of The Empire Strikes Back? You know, when like the Millennium Falcon
100%.
flies into
Really?
that space slug, and
Yeah.
like I'm half expecting to see Minox on the windshield.
Yeah. 100%. That'd be kind of nice though, like there was a giant space worm. Like maybe
Yeah,
get
the
the space worm to
Exogorth,
like leave
yeah.
and then start
Yep.
like shoving
Yep.
it, like
That's true.
nuzzling it the other direction.
Also, I really want someone to say permission to land like a dainty butterfly.
What's that from?
It's from Family Guy.
Oh, I've never seen it. Okay. All right. And 10 feet to spare.
The drama's fun though, you know?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I think the question that I'm ultimately asking is how many times can you wink at the audience before they go, okay, just
Well, there's
get back
like
to it.
354 episodes of this show.
Mm.
I know,
so-
but the winking is
yeah.
high in this one.
It is very
The
high. I mean,
winking
that's the
is
thing.
high.
The only reason I accept half these episodes where the winking is extreme,
Yeah. It's
added
like
up, you just go with it eventually.
Hmm.
I know, it's like the wink to cringe ratio. Like
Yeah.
sometimes there's some winking and it's okay, but then maybe in like David's thinking that the wink to cringe is really high in this
Well,
episode.
yeah,
Like
when
they're
you
doing
get
a lot of
like
winking and to the point where you're just cringing.
right. Well, I mean, you get to like Stargate Universe later on, and when McKay comes in, it almost like breaks my illusion of the show because McKay was so vastly different, in terms of realism from the characters in Universe. So, but I also happen to be, a universe apologist, whereas a number of people
100%.
didn't care for it. So I get it.
Sure, yeah.
That was like the one episode of Stargate Universe that like Jeff was like not expecting to see McKay in, and he was so
Yeah.
happy because McKay's his favorite. He had a rule with Atlantis where he was like, "Oh, if McKay's not in it, it goes down a chevron."
Oh, he was that big a fan.
Aw.
Okay, good.
For him, McKay made the show.
Wow, that's great. I hope he told Dave.
I love him too.
Personally, I'm against it.
So I think this episode is like further proof that they really need to be installing seatbelts in
Yeah.
these teltacs.
Yeah. I always find it really strange that like so humanity, right? We've gotten to a point where like in order to just work anyway, you need to fill all the health and safety. But whenever you go see like go to other planets and cultures and stuff, they never have that because I guess they just don't have the time to do that in the behind the scenes process. They're like, nah, we're not going to bother. We can go to what looks cool.
Yeah, OH&S is just on the back seat.
Did you notice the decal at the bottom of the screen did not animate during the rings? It's like it should have gone down and separated and
no, I didn't even
come back and
notice.
up. Yeah, and it just stayed there the entire time. Yeah. I guess it's like the wooden floor in Seth's house, the magic wooden floor that lets rings go through it. So sometimes am I salty today? What is
You
wrong?
are really salty.
What's
You've got
wrong?
a diet high in salt.
We've had
Yeah.
a death in the Stargate family. Okay, I think we're having a
Is
bit
it
of a day.
am I just projecting just jadedness?
I feel like
Maybe.
my brain is all mush right now because I
Yeah.
don't quite know how to deal
Yeah,
with it.
that's true.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I'm having a
I'm
tough
literally
time.
like I'm reading my notes, so I don't really need to do too much thinking, thankfully.
Lock Watcher, Jack got the wires right because he's also MacGyver.
That's true. That is 100% correct.
I was playing this rock paper scissors game that my friend sent me where you go onto an internet browser for rock paper scissors and you have to like beat rock and then carry on. And like I decided to beat rock with Chuck Norris, and then I was like, right, who can beat Chuck Norris? And I just put Richard Dean Anderson, and it was like, yeah, MacGyver could kick Chuck Norris's bum any day.
Yes,
And I was like, yes,
thank you.
It'd be
So I
close.
understand
Yeah.
that these spacesuits are actually from the movie Deep Impact. I don't know if that's true, but I mean that
Did
movie
they
is
borrow
also
them?
about a big space rock, heading for Earth. Apparently, it's like hand-me-downs.
Really? Let's see here.
Hand me
So
down to free.
we
Yeah,
also
looks like them.
yeah. Also, footsteps in space shouldn't be possible, but we are kind of hearing them take steps. So
I
it's
mean, there's
kind of
lots
like
of
we're listening
sound.
through their suits. Yeah, and it's just for the
Ambience.
benefit of the
Look
the
at how
audience,
deep.
yeah.
Look at how deep that
I know.
that crater is that they came into. I
That's what I always
suppose it
liked
could be
about-
really, really wide, but still.
Battlestar Galactica always had that thing with the sound, where the sound was a bit more muted when they were in space in order to just
Yes,
add that
yeah.
whole
Mhm.
thing,
A bit more
element to it.
realistic, yeah.
But like obviously Stargate, Star Wars, we just don't do that because
Well,
it's
no,
like
we also shouldn't be hearing the whirring of the Melps motor in space either.
That's
No.
correct.
It's like there's
yeah.
no sound in a vacuum.
Yeah, but they have to make it interesting. I mean, like
Yeah,
George Lucas
that's
said
true.
with the Exogorth cave inside of the asteroid cave, if you want to call it that, inside of Empire, he was quoted in an interview around the time where saying, it's not sci-fi, it's space fantasy. If I think that space needs to have oxygen at this point, space is going to have oxygen. It's as simple
Yeah.
as that.
Yeah.
So when people
yeah.
call Star Wars sci-fi, I kind of cringe because he's repeatedly said it's a fairy tale. It's not
Yep.
science fiction.
Yep.
There's nowhere else for it to go in terms of categories.
Borrows,
but still.
yeah, it borrows like so many things
Absolutely.
from fairy tales. So
Look at all that Naquita. Looks an awful lot like the ramp in Heimdall's lab.
Oh,
I wonder if
could
it's the
be.
same space.
How many
So the
times
one
do
at
they
the end
reuse
of
these
like it's like
spaces?
three episodes time.
The
Yeah.
suits?
Time.
No, the spaces, as in like,
Frequently. Very frequently.
Because I was going to say, because I know that some of the sets,
They're
like
just
with
sound
Atlantis,
stages or whatever, aren't they?
Right,
it
but
was
are
just
you
one
talking about
soundstage
like
that changed the angle.
elements of a set before they tear it down and rebuild it in the soundstage?
Well, yeah, because how many
Yeah.
times do they reuse those elements? Because it's a lot of money to burn every time you
lot.
tear it down.
Yeah, like the bricks inside of the ziggurat in. Help me out here. What's the ziggurat episode that we had with the Russians?
The tomb.
Oh,
The tomb.
yes, the tomb. Yes,
those
yep.
were built inside of the gold triangular architecture because that was the only way that they could fit them in, and as a result, it made it more claustrophobic. When everyone was in there, they talked quieter because it was more
Yes.
closed in. And I mean they received they got it was an award-winning set.
They did,
So,
yeah.
yeah. I love how the bottom there is all perfectly smooth. Watch your caboose sticks, Jed Ted. Yeah, that's First Contact reference.
so. Oh, Daniel.
Uh-oh.
Lock Watcher, this was shot at 44 frames per second to make the walking slower, but had to restore to 24 frames per second for the dialogue. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Stay where you are.
I'm looking forward to Daniel actually doing things for himself at some point.
Mm-hmm. Well, he'll be doing a lot with the help of Oma Sala when next time
Yeah.
he meets. What is that, September 15th? So
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
we're not back next weekend, folks.
Yeah, another break.
I will be camping in... where will I be camping?
You're rafting, aren't you?
And rafting. Montana, yeah.
My worst nightmare. The camping.
Really?
The camping.
I'm not a
Oh.
huge... I'd go glamping, but I'm not much
Yeah,
of a
same.
camping person.
Yeah.
I need
Even
my
I can agree on that.
amenities.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
It's okay, Yvie. We'll go with David someday, and we'll just sit inside and watch Pride and Prejudice. while
What's he
David's outside
burning?
the tent.
What's the stick? What is that?
Yeah, what?
I don't know what the stick is.
Oh,
like,
it's where
not
the-
on fire as such, but he is trying to figure out
Yeah,
where
it's
the
like a
leaks
weird,
are.
like where the leak is, but it's like,
But I don't know what he's actually
What is he burning? Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
So if someone could point that out, please, Lockwatcher.
yeah. Just, it seemed like it was something that we should know, like
Right?
as a thing,
Yeah.
you know, as a human thing
That they
It's not like
happen
some
to
alien
have
stuff
in
they
the
pulled out.
event of, a minor crack. in
Aren't you
the
supposed to like
fuselage.
not light a flame though in space? So I can't imagine like we'd use it on the space
Nah,
station.
that's just a psychology
Yeah.
thing. They used to smoke all the time up there. I'm kidding.
Did they?
Oh my
No, those are
God.
airplanes.
So I wanted to quickly mention two details that are coming up in pretty quick succession. So first, you have to check out Tilk and Jack's ear receivers. They're
Yeah.
actually taped in place, which is
Yeah.
kind of a cool detail because you
Yeah.
can't obviously adjust those in space.
Nope.
Also, if you keep your eyes on Tilk when he opens the cargo bay doors, not these ones, the internal ones, you'll spot some gaps between his helmet and his suit. So he was obviously
Really?
getting quite frustrated and he's sort of beginning to yeet it off. See, look, you can see that taped in there. Like taped to the side
Oh,
of
for
the
sure.
fence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they could have. I could see them legitimately using that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the look here. I'm not
Yeah,
seeing
we
it. Did we miss it?
we just miss it.
I
yeah.
didn't really see it. Okay. Not the tape part, but the helmet thing.
Yeah, it was definitely there.
Okay. I believe you.
Yeah, it was about a thumb's width. Like gap.
I would be my arms would be hurting with my shoulders being pulled a little bit forward.
Agreed,
like that all day,
totally.
just to be
You're
walking
basically
around
like
an ape.
hunched over.
Yeah.
As a person with bad posture, this would probably work for me.
I definitely need to be doing some yoga stretches or something afterwards.
Yeah.
I imagine they'd be quite heavy as well.
Well, they're not supposed to be that heavy in space, you know, but
I love the gold dashboards.
Yeah. That's okay because they thought fast.
Yeah, extremely fast. God, I wish I could think that quickly.
Yeah. I like the emergency, like one of my favorite things, and I don't tell my bosses this because it's not very healthy, is the anxiety I get when something goes horribly wrong, because then I work so hard to fix it and I suddenly become like the smartest person who ever lived in like 5 minutes.
I wish I could handle pressure like that.
I love it.
I'd usually just like crumple into to a, like a pile of
I have
tears on
about
the
30
floor.
seconds of crying crumple and then I get over it. So I feel like this would have been fun to figure out. I love the way they're just kicking it, being like, "Hey."
I was trying to figure out if he was kicking in some sort of
Morse code or
pattern that
something?
was like
Yeah.
Morse code, but I don't think it is. I think he's literally
No.
just kicking.
Just making
Yeah.
sure you're there.
Yeah.
She's ready to go off world.
Captain goes down with the ship.
He is going
Yup.
to go down with the ship, yeah.
His ship being a planet, which is a pretty good ship. That's a pretty big ship. Be proud.
I kind of almost feel bad for him because he eventually says, "Oh, I haven't been relieved of my command yet," so he's going to stay inside. And I just keep thinking, like, what if the higher ups are just under so much stress and panic they've just forgotten
forgot.
to relieve him of his
God.
command.
Imagine.
This is a great scene between them.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. You can just see so much emotion in her eyes.
I'm glad that she gets to go off world and be one of the survivors. Because
Mhm.
it pays to be at the
Mhm.
top. It pays to be smart. So sometimes.
A good doctor.
Yeah.
So, according to Joe Malozzi, RDA and Chris really hated those spacesuits, so much so that in like this sort of scene, Jack and Tilk illogically take extra time to remove their suits. Would have been about 30 minutes before helping Sam and Daniel.
Mm-hmm. Fair point. Add it to my list.
I like the episodes where Daniel becomes a bit of a Jack and a Teal'c, where he just doesn't know either and he's trying.
Yeah, it is funny. So,
Isn't it?
I was going to say that, where are my notes? So, Morjana Kaufman compared Jack's line to Caesar's famous quote, "I came, I saw, I conquered," but
Classic.
noted that while Caesar's was briefer, Jack's line was just as effective.
Yeah.
The core is, so maybe not necessarily what they were walking on, but it sure looked like it to me.
Yeah.
45% of the mass. Of course it does. Nope, not in
No,
our
but very
solar system.
suspicious. Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been putting some
brain.
extra naquadah aside to make into a big asteroid.
The way that this is a great way to have Stargate constantly survive without getting wiped out immediately by having the Protected Planets Treaty. It explains why Anubis can't just come in here guns blazing doing whatever he wants.
Well, they have to be kind of creative, don't they? To break
Small
out.
nova. Set the atmosphere on fire.
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense that after the asteroid went through Earth, as long as they've got a cargo ship or something, that can maneuver toward the asteroid, we'd never have to mine naquadah anywhere else ever again.
No.
That's
We'd
true.
have it forever.
Back they go again.
There we go.
Yeah. Got to put on those damn suits
I'd be
second
pretty
time.
annoyed.
Yeah,
I can barely
get
get up
back
in the
in the
morning and
suits.
shower.
Yeah.
So
Maybe they filmed all of the scenes when they were wearing the suits at the same time, so they didn't
I
have to
hope
take
they
them off and
did.
put them
I
back on
Oh,
really
again.
hope they
absolutely.
did.
Yeah, that's just a
100%.
production thing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless something went wrong.
But I'm mad for Jack and Teal'c, not Richard and Christopher.
Look, it glows.
It does glue.
Also, it's kind of like I don't know, like
Uh-oh.
I'm not very good with like sciencey stuff, but like if there's no gravity in space, how was the keypad damaged by a falling rock?
Because the asteroid is heavy enough to have its own gravity.
Yeah.
He's able to pick it up basically with one hand.
Yeah, I mean, but the rock itself, the keypad is just right there. It doesn't surprise me that it damaged it.
Yeah, the keypad is like weak compared to
Yeah,
the casing
exactly.
of the nuke, I guess.
These are
That's
big
what my brain was
rocks.
doing.
Even though the gravity is definitely down, you can see how it damaged it.
Oh, classic.
Yeah. Of course. Right on the
Typical.
keypad.
Typical.
I can see that. 003310310. I'm sure that's someone's password somewhere.
1998. Try that one, guys. The year I was born. I've once again found a way to remind everyone that I am young.
Funny.
I love that we always have to do this with passwords. Like the amount of times I type in my password and I'm like, I know that's my password, but then somehow like I had it wrong.
Get one password, man. I've had it for years. As far as the
Yeah.
internet goes, it is my best friend. Works on all of my devices.
Yeah.
Dashlane is my best friend.
Dashlane,
I've
yeah.
got 5 passwords I've been using, like it's different iterations of since I was.
It's
a
not
kid,
enough.
so.
These quantum
it's
computers
not.
now can crack 20 combination
I know, but what
passwords
kind
in
of quantum
minutes.
computer wants to get into my content? There's nothing good in there.
I don't
you
know. Keep on getting more popular on TikTok and you'll find out.
Yeah.
Just My Lady
So-
Jane memes is all they're gonna get.
So I really feel like this is like a really like a missed golden opportunity because like this would have been like the perfect moment for like a meta MacGyver reference. So he could have mentioned like needing some chewing gum and a paperclip to deactivate the bomb manually. Like he could have gone there.
Because there's pretty much none of that in the show. I suspect Rick had something to do with that not being a thing.
He might have.
Yeah,
Because they could
possibly.
have done that a lot. And there was one reference in Children of the Gods, and it was pulled out in the final cut, and that's it. So.
Yeah. I feel like, if this was back in the day when they first introduced the Zat, they could have just like gone beep 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 and then just like deleted it.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
So
Yellow.
Morjana Kaufman wondered if this might hint at sabotage, like possibly by the NID.
Can you
she
imagine?
compared it
I don't
to
think they all
a
want to
scene
die though.
She compared it to a scene in The Abyss where deep sea conditions and yellow lighting made wire colors indistinguishable.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a scene from The Abyss. Okay, I'm going to have to go back
Apparently,
and
yeah.
look. Wow. Oh, boy.
Awful.
This is
The middle
this is
one,
the
I would
worst way
never
to
pick the
go.
middle one.
So,
yeah.
Okay, I've got to ask ChatGPT, how many possible combinations are there? I've got to know.
Yeah. I would go like 2 and 4, and then I'd stop. Those are the ones I would. Oh God! Even though I know it's like I'm still nervous. I love the way he sits
course
there and
it's the
really
second
goes
to last one.
between the two. Like he's really going between the two.
And then he changes like last minute.
Oh my God!
And I love the look on
Honestly.
Daniel's
Like the
face.
longest
This is
20
driving me
seconds.
nuts.
Yeah.
If there are 5 wires, how many combinations are there to cut all the wires? So, 32 possible combinations to cut the wires.
Oh my
Christ.
Includes the
god.
possibility of not cutting any wires at all. So, that's like, and he got the one right.
Well, so I always think about with the thing that alternate Mitchell said where he was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
cut the blue one or something.
Yes,
and
yes.
and like
It was
and,
a
and
red
all that
herring.
yeah, and all that
Yeah.
cosmic space stuff as well with
Yeah.
the ancients and the ascended beings. And I'm like, I feel like someone out there's looking out for them, or there's like some alternate timeline advice somewhere. Maybe someone said something in passing, and Jack just knew. He just knew that they were all going to be yellow, and that he knew which one it was deep down because he got hinted at via someone else somewhere in the great
Maybe.
big beyond. So
Mhm. We never go back to Hammond after the failsafe has, or after
No.
after the hyperspace jump. The last shot of him in this episode is him.
I
Go back and
really
sit down
like
and
the
wait for the
last
end to come.
shots
Yeah.
being in this room where they all just start throwing papers and stuff. Like that's always the vibe.
From tangents.
Oh,
Yeah, it's always the vibe. Yeah, go Walter.
Urias Tosh, suspension of disbelief shattered. This episode pushes it.
Yeah.
Ah, there's the answer. So it's not his decision after all.
No.
Okay.
I
So
think they
he
just
did
forgot
not tell
about
the
him, though.
complete truth to Janet. You think?
Yep.
They didn't. I don't think they forgot about him. I just think that he hasn't been relieved of his command.
I mean, my memory is horrendous. If I was in a position of power, I feel like I'd forget.
Yeah.
There's a really great moment. This reminds me of this moment in the game Control, where there's this guy on fridge duty where if you don't watch this fridge, you get sucked into like an alternate hell dimension and get like murdered by a giant monster. And so there's always got to be someone watching the fridge on fridge duty. But because everything's going to hell, the guy who's supposed to switch out the man on fridge duty for someone else forgot, and the guy was there for like 2 days just watching this fridge, like, you know, about to die. And I was like, man, how could you forget about someone so important? And I think of that guy when I think about Hammond being left behind right now.
Yep.
I hope anyone who plays the game Control appreciates that reference.
There you go. We don't have a mothership, but we can do what they did to get it here.
And they're going to use this again at the beginning of season 6 to yeet the next Anubis murder attempt into space and save themselves.
Oh, yeah, the hyperspace trick. Yep.
Yep.
It's a good one. Is there a 4? It's far-fetched. So, 6 billion people would live, but we'd die.
I was going to say, with
Yeah.
the amount of people who would like probably see this asteroid and then see it disappear, it'd be like, the government would be like, nah, there was nothing. There was nothing. And it's like the whole aliens thing, where people see stuff and believe this stuff, and then it just like all gets swept under the rug, being like, nah, you saw nothing. Don't worry about it. Big gaslighting.
There's just the government saying, just look the other way. Hey,
Yeah,
what's
don't
that
worry
over
about
there?
You're welcome. You lived. No, don't look.
Don't the
That's
escape
very
pods have
close.
like transmitters in them? Couldn't they just take the escape pod? Well, they can't get back into orbit, so or they can't get off the rock, so that would be it. So, yeah. Dang
The
it.
escape pods, do they only eject one way?
Yeah, out from the bottom.
Damn, they should fix that.
You think they'd have enough power to clear the gravity of the asteroid?
I don't know.
I think that Carter would
feel
have
like-
considered that.
I
Yeah.
feel like
can't
it'd be
take
nice
off.
to have it eject another way.
That's true.
I feel like having stuff escape out of the bottom. I feel like the only reason that you'd escape a cargo ship a lot of the times, other than being in space, but like, you know, gravity sometimes is a problem. So I feel like
Here's my
like an
favorite line
airplane,
for the
don't put it
entire
underneath.
season.
Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, so good. That made this whole episode worth it. See, this is crazy. This is the amount of people that are seeing this.
Yeah.
I
Like,
love
what
how
the
much
hell?
time is passing as this is a really slow hyperdrive transit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
Maybe it's because
someone
of the amount of
said,
power.
Yeah, so someone on Reddit pointed out that the hyperspace jump through Earth seemed too slow, and they argued Sam couldn't realistically calculate such a short burst. But somebody else suggested that the damaged engines and oversized cargo might explain the reduced speed.
Exactly.
I feel like I could have been more on board with this whole idea if
Boom!
they like,
Into the moon.
like
Yeah, I
if
know.
they like hooked up the nuke to the cargo ship and then been like, I'm expanding the hyperspace window to include the asteroid with the power of the bomb we have on board, then I could have maybe been more okay with it.
I've never noticed Tessa and Kayla in the photos.
Yeah, I
there.
just noticed that
I've
too,
Never
literally.
noticed them.
So they think that the asteroid's just gonna like fly off and never come back. But
Isn't gravity
like,
gonna
the
suck
thing
it
is,
back in?
gravity plays like a bit of a long game, so it could end up being
Yeah, you
boomerang.
definitely want to calculate its trajectory.
Gravity's playing the long game.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I loved this, as am I. That was a great thread.
Yes.
I wish they had done more of that in the show.
Yes. So we're about to see Kirsten Williamson
Jalen.
as Jalen. Yeah.
She's back for the first time since what? The season 4 finale?
Exodus.
Exodus,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Yes, Jalen of the Tokla. We remember you. I'm glad they brought these actors back, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
me
Established
too.
it,
Even
yeah.
for a
Any
very
Tok'ra.
brief,
Yep.
yeah,
they pulled
very
one we
brief
knew.
window. Morjana appreciated seeing SG-1 working as a unit again in Failsafe.
Yep.
She found
Yeah,
it
it separated a
refreshing
lot.
after several tense episodes where the team were often split up. And despite the high stakes, she enjoyed the episode's lighter tone.
Yep.
And I think Failsafe really drives home a key point that even though SG-1 like hops around the galaxy, sometimes the biggest threats are like right on our doorstep.
Right at home.
And this episode's a good reminder that space is full of surprises and not all of them are light years away. And I wanted to say that I believe the prevailing theory here is that Anubis is behind the asteroid.
Yes.
But there's actually a real asteroid called 1912 Anubis that is out there. It was discovered by a Dutch astronomer back in 1960.
And also an
Yeah.
asteroid called Apophis, which is
Yeah.
supposed to...
Named after Stargate.
named after the character. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come by when?
It swings by occasionally, you know, gravity pulls it
Swings
back
by
in.
to say hi.
2029, April
Yeah.
13th.
Hey, we
So,
should all look
yeah.
out that day.
Yeah, so start worrying, folks. Start worrying.
Yeah.
That was
Gravity.
Failsafe. Thanks for tuning in. All right.
What an episode.
What an episode.
Yeah, you guys were kind of tearing it apart. But,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We tear-
I'm not actually. I'm
You
not
tear it a little
really
too.
I'm not really too bothered by it. I mean, like, it's
He's
very
like, "You're being
convenient in
mean."
places, but I actually quite enjoy it. I think it's kind of a good time.
I think credit where credit is due. We should call
we,
it.
we enjoy Stargate a lot.
It's just one of those lighter episodes. Like,
sure.
everything just falls into place, and it's very convenient, obviously. But like, sometimes I just enjoy those types of episodes.
I'll go first. Having said
for it.
all the things that I said about this one, this is a high 4 for me. Almost a 5, but it's a high 4 because
That's still very generous for the amount of tearing.
goofy as it is, it's fun. And
It
if
is fun.
Stargate wasn't fun, Stargate wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Having said that, Universe is minimal fun, but I still think it works too because it does have those characters
That's
in it.
true.
But this is peak SG-1 in my opinion. This is the last of the golden days, in my opinion. Everything that needs to work in this episode works, and it's all intentional. It's not like, oh, they left this hanging, there's a big gaping hole they can drive a semi through. It's on purpose, you know, all these little gags.
The last
characters
of the
all work
golden
great.
days, though, David.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. In my opinion, 4 and 5 are peak Stargate. 6 I don't like. I just don't like it, except for a handful of episodes. But I love Failsafe, and I give it a 4.
Okay.
Next.
Okay. Did you want to go, Nicole, or do you want me to
Yeah, I'll go because I
Mhm.
think that, to be honest, actually, what I'm gonna say is basically what David just said, which is a 4. It's I tear it apart, but you know what, Stargate, I feel like it's okay for us to tear it a little bit.
We
because
love it.
We've seen it so many times, and we
Yeah.
love it so much that we can't help but poke fun and poke holes. Because like on my
Exactly.
first viewing of TV, I never see the holes the first time because I'm just having fun. It isn't until
Yes.
like the second or however many times afterwards that I'm like,
You get
that
over
was silly.
analytical. Yeah.
And it happens. I do it with everything as time goes on. But I enjoyed this episode the first time I saw it, and I enjoy it every other time,
Mhm.
even with the issues. Because are they issues? Nah, it's TV. Have fun.
Yeah.
You know. So
Mhm,
that's where
mhm.
I'm at. And the
Well, I
Golden
meant-
Days thing, yeah.
TV is there for entertainment, and is this episode entertaining? Yes.
Yeah.
So
Did I say what my
would
rating
give
was?
it
I said a 4, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
said a 4.
Good.
I'd probably give it a 5, like a slightly more
Ooh,
generous
okay.
5, because I think it's a good time, in spite of its conveniences and, plot holes in the fact that, they think of this brilliant plan literally with 5 minutes to spare in the episode. I do feel very sorry for Hammond. I know I said it during the podcast. He's literally just waiting to die because no one's excused him yet. He's such a good leader. But yeah, it had its fun moments for sure. So I enjoyed it, and I kind of like that it's brought Anubis back into play. We only really just learned about him like the previous episode, and they've just carried that through. So he is a big deal. And you really think like he's really in it for the long haul, and he's had this plan like brewing for so long, to the point where he's actually at some point constructed this asteroid, which would have been really difficult to do. And he's had that kind of like off to the side in a garage somewhere, trying to figure out when to release it. Yeah.
I don't think he constructed it.
You don't think so?
No, Naquita's not native to the solar system, but it doesn't mean it's not
no,
native to asteroids.
He just went and found it somewhere else and bumped it over, didn't he?
Maybe he found it.
Sites. He could have like injection molded the Naquita inside the bigger one and then put it rock on the outside.
Yeah,
could have been
like a cupcake.
One way or another, they threw it to our solar system and chucked it at us like a bullet.
Yeah, exactly. He basically used like a big slingshot, just flung it in our direction. Yep. So yeah, I think a 5 from me.
That's fair. All right. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I think season 5 isn't that stinky. Remember how like seasons 1, 2, and 3 are really stinky? Like, it's been really nice to have less.
I think every season has some stinkies.
Yeah, but it's not been like overall stinky. I'm having a good time. I like that's how I say it. Anthony says this one is a 4 for me. Jed Ted says 6. Shimmering Victoria says 5. It has a lot of fun lines, and I adore the scene between Janet and Hammond. Yes, it's cute. Urias Tosh 4. G and Diada, I can go with 3. The callbacks, the house line, and going with the hyperspace curveball, 1 point each. Dan Ben, I was also going to say a high 5. Sorry, high 4. My brain said high 5 because of high 5. Classic. Log Watcher, I would give this a 5. Fun episode, perfect when you needed a laugh. The house line was everything. Thought it was funny that General Hammond's grandchildren are also Brad Wright's kids. Yes.
Yeah.
What else do we have here? Urias Tosh said seasons 6 through 8 is the golden age of Stargate, in my not so humble opinion.
Everyone has their opinion. Yeah.
Says love the parallels to Mass Effect's Bring Down the Sky DLC. Yes, love the video game references. Gecko Fett said, 4 out of 7. Decent enough episode for an occasional rewatch. And Robin says, I like this episode. I'll give it a 5. June Diada said, Stargate really takes a lot of rewatches to catch the mistakes and the dumb stuff. I agree.
It's one of the reasons we're doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's a show that's been out since 1997, and it's gonna have issues, and also budget is a big part of TV, and I've noticed as time goes on that the more flashier television that I watch is the stuff that has more holes because it's flashier, and so like they can't keep everything consistent and perfect all the time because they've got so many other things going on.
Even George Lucas said visual effects are a tool. They're not the reason for it. They're a tool for story.
We're enjoying the story. I don't care.
If you don't enjoy the story, you wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So, but having said that, I do know, Stargate fans who tune in just for the spaceships. So once we started, that's why they watched it, for the ships. So hey, everyone's got a thing.
Before Jacob left, they rated Failsafe a 4, and Candy Mitch said mine aren't getting posted.
Just post it right there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Candy Mitch, the same way you did that, let us know what yours was. In the meantime, we are going to move forward with The Warrior.
The Warrior.
So one of my favorite guest stars of all time to the show.
Yeah.
And one of my least favorite Cylons. Spoilers.
Simon.
He's just like as in he's my least favorite because he's a bad word. But I like him because he's bad. As in like I like him as a bad guy. So yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
He does a good job as a bad guy.
He is so good.
He didn't get enough screen time in Battlestar, and we didn't get enough screen time.
He's the only thing that really saves blood and that really saves the plan, in my opinion, is Rick Worthy. All right, guys.
He's great.
You ready to go?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
The Warrior We're getting started now in 5, 4, 3. My name is David Reed. I'm with Yvie Cahill
Hello.
and Nicole Rodriguez Galdo.
Hello. Sorry, I laughed because as you said my name is David, he said my name
He
is
said
Katano.
my name is Katano, yeah.
Yes.
That threw me off my brain.
We are
I know.
watching The Warrior. Actor Obi Ndefo passed away this past week, and so it is quite wonderful that we're getting to watch one of his
nice
bigger
timing,
episodes
you know,
together.
it's
Yeah,
terrible,
absolutely.
but it's fortunate that
It's a good
we're
way to
at this
honor
episode.
him, honor his
Yeah.
legacy, yeah.
This is one
So-
of my favorite guest performers of all of Stargate, Rick Worthy.
He's fantastic. So I think Peter DeLuise had a great description of Rick Worthy's voice. He compared it to butter on toast. And I think since Katano literally means sword, I think maybe we could say that it's like a butter knife.
Love it.
And we just missed Peter's cameo. He was the one that said an army has weapons, an army has food.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. This is actually also the first episode written by Christopher Judge.
Yeah.
Is it written by or is it story by?
So story by and teleplay by.
He wrote the teleplay?
Yeah, with Peter DeLuise.
Okay, there we go. It's an important distinction. All right. Yes, he said there will be sacrifice. Yeah, you will be sacrificing people. That won't be a problem.
What a way to seek power.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I know.
like this is really messed up.
Kalma is this is the second reference to Kalma being a planet
Sanctuary.
sanctuary. The first one
Yeah.
was. Do you remember? Maternal
Kalmar.
Instinct.
Ah.
So
David schooling us.
I kind of like almost expect him to break into song at this point. Like maybe like a rousing number about freedom.
I'm sure
When
they've got
he's talking.
songs. We know that they have songs of lament. I was
Yeah,
kind of
that's
surprised we
true.
never heard. I don't think we heard a Jaffa song. You know,
No.
freaking
No,
Tok'ra
I
got a
think we
song.
did.
We heard a Jaffa
Continuum,
joke.
Yeah,
No song though. Yeah,
So,
the Tok'ras did sing for ages. Lord, that was a
they did.
ooh,
Even
that
if
was a
it
long
was,
time.
Ball's greatest hits, that's fine. It was still
Yeah.
a Tok'ra
Ball's
song.
greatest hits.
Yeah.
Oh god. So someone on Reddit called this episode the one where the Guawul demotes himself to gain power. I thought that
Yeah.
was quite
Is this
apt.
pulled from like someone who was like a Friends fan who decided to rename Stargate episodes? to
Yeah,
what
they
all did?
decided early on when there was like a review going of each episode on Reddit that they were going to do the one with. So
To be
yeah,
honest,
I've
the
just sort of
one
carried
with
that
is
on.
is a great idea because when you
I think
remember
it's great
things, you
too.
sit there and go like the Friends. They cashed
they'd
in
be
on
like,
the
"What's
idea
that
that's how
episode
you
with
remember
the-"
things.
Exactly.
If there is a
so-
list somewhere, I'd love to do it and make it for a trivia episode specifically with people who remember the names of the episodes well. I think that would be
Me?
a fun trivia episode.
Yeah.
That'll be Nicole, not me. So
You can be on my team.
So this episode was actually nominated for a Leo Award in Best Overall Sound category for a dramatic series. And in Germany, this episode got an awkwardly worded title, Die Jafar Rebellion. Die in German obviously means the, but it definitely reads a little bit different in English.
There was a Ronnie Cox reference here that we missed. Deliverance with
Yes,
Ronnie
there was a
Cox,
Deliverance
Senator
reference.
Kinsey,
Yep.
and Braytech was like, "I do not. I haven't seen this movie." And I was like, "Yeah."
And Joe Malozzi actually vividly remembers learning about 9/11 while working on this episode along with
God.
Menace. So he said that the tragedy is now his primary memory associated with both episodes.
Yeah. And so while this one was being written, actually, Menace and David, the Sentinel were actually being filmed. So some of these are out of sequence.
Right.
I love the sheen on Braytak's nice little like drape thing
Mhm.
around his neck.
Mm.
It's a nice fabric. Velour.
So I just realized
weird
something
reference.
kind of interesting. So they chose Imhotep who's known as the first pyramid builder for this
Mhm.
episode. And the martial arts that they practice at the camp is called mastaba,
Yep.
which is actually a type of ancient Egyptian tomb. So I wonder if that was kind of intentional. Like, could it be kind of symbolizing that Katano is essentially trying to bury the Jafar rebellion, or am I
Or
overanalyzing like
burying
usual?
their enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could go either way. So we will gift them. My issue with the weapons, they've proven effective in battle, but the problem is that they need to be continually supplied. So, and
Well,
that
that's it,
does
they
not
do.
come up in dialogue in the negotiations. It's like, they're great,
Yep.
fine. You did a great job with the guy in the skirt, but you need to continue to supply us with that ammunition. And so
You
we
do.
are at your mercy with that. If you
That's
want us to
it.
completely switch
We're
over
reliant
from,
on you.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
And it
absolutely.
never comes up.
We've got Randall Wong in here. I don't think we've met Randall before.
Hello, Randall Wong.
Hi,
They
Randall.
said, Katano is a little too flowery and smiley. Yeah, that is a
Really?
suspicious
He really
man.
That's
is.
very
Yeah, he is a
suspicious.
little bit. He has like a bit of a smirk every now and then. You're like, I don't trust
I've got
this
a
guy.
lot of issues with how easily he gets things done in this episode.
I also think that Teal can smirk a lot too.
Yeah. I'm very sus of Katano. Like he's all like just like, oh yeah, come join us, and then 5 seconds later it's like, boom, we've got a new team of people.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's too perfect.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, exactly.
this is a deliverer. My deliverer is coming.
I
And
would
it's
have
like,
really
wait a
loved
second.
if they dragged this out for ages and then betrayed me down the line.
Yeah,
You
they
know?
could have done a
I
whole
would have loved
season with
that.
this character, and I would have loved
Yeah.
it. Kind
yeah.
of done
Mm.
season 5's Tanith with
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Like, 'cause
yes.
at certain but had it been that long, I would have been like, oh, he was a Gould all along. Okay, so maybe it's like good
Yeah,
that it was
I don't
in
know,
one
it's-
episode.
Yeah.
Some of these Jaffa have hair product. I
I'm
love the drop of the bag.
So do I. So do I.
That is
We're
so
about to
funny.
see Obi.
There he
yeah, I
is,
can see
right
him
there.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Background. Oh,
Ah,
beautiful man.
he's a
Aw.
tall guy. He's taller
Very
than
tall.
Christopher.
Yeah.
Either that or he's wearing pumps, and I don't think he is.
Nah.
Oh yeah.
I'm really
Tekmate.
sad.
Mate. Yeah, I know. Me too.
Mm.
I don't care. Stop
Okay.
translating. It just doesn't matter to me. Back at ya.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh, his delivery.
So cute. It's so cute.
Oh, that's funny.
See, what I love about
He's out at the
Ragnar
grocery store.
is that he was naughty, and then he turned around and ended up being like the goodest
Yep.
boy in the galaxy.
Yep.
You know,
Mhm.
like
He had his own
what a
arc.
turnaround. I love
Yeah,
him.
he finds his true purpose.
If Teal'c is going to be changing the hearts and minds of these people, we have to have examples
Yes.
of him doing it. And Ragnar was
That's
the one.
exactly right. So, funnily enough, like these guns later become like key in the for the Jafar rebels. Even though, Ragnar's basically saying that not his type of weapon. So they do use them effectively against the replicators, the Cull warriors, and even at the Battle of Dakara.
Yep.
So
Yes, they do.
My problem with this is, how do you suss out the true allies from the liars and the double agents? How do you
you've just got to
prevent
take a risk, I
people
think,
from
when
doing what Ragnar did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
see,
as
she literally
spies.
just
Yeah.
said it. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It is sort of interesting. Like, one fan on, I think it was on Reddit, felt that Braytak was like unexpectedly out of character. Like, usually he's the voice of like caution and restraint.
He's
But
always
he
had a
kind
little
of
bit of
throws
arrogance.
all that aside to follow
Yeah.
Katano, who's like basically like a new messiah.
Well, also this is
Um,
like his dream to see the Jafar
Mhm.
free and
Yeah.
reunited
That's true.
like this. So it's like, oh, sorry, united. But yeah.
So you'll see that they've repurposed some of the Goa'ul's like helmets and stuff there.
Mhm.
They've got like the symbols of Ra, Herawer, Apophis, Satesh.
Makes me think of when like the Ewoks got all the helmets of the stormtroopers when they were done.
Yes, yes, they
Yeah,
use them as
very much
drums.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for sure. And you know that they were eating those stormtroopers.
Oh
I
yeah,
recently
yeah.
read
We'll just put
a
that
thing where it
aside.
was like, did the Ewoks eat humans? Most definitely, yes.
I mean, like, it's free
Yummy.
food, all right,
Yeah.
and they're like
Yummy.
bears, so
They were trying to eat Han and Luke.
yeah,
Yeah, they just
yeah,
they were gonna spit roast them.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
they really were. Sorry, I'm gonna move on from that.
We're about to see someone else who's just passed.
Was there something
in the
very
last
I
few
positive?
know,
years.
Kirby Morrow.
Kirby Morrow, right there.
Yeah, so he's in the dark shirt, so that's Tarak. So this actually marks his second appearance in SG-1 after playing Militiaman in Korai. So Stargate fans might also recognize him from Atlantis because he was in 8 episodes as Captain Dave Kleinman.
Yep.
And he also had a brief role as a bridge officer in Universe. Beyond Stargate, he actually had quite a significant impact as a voice actor. He voiced Cole and other characters in about 169 episodes of various Ninjago series, and he also portrayed, I think it's Morocco. I probably just butchered that, but it's in an English dub of the popular anime Inuyasha, and tragically he actually lost his life in November 2020 at the age of 47, and
Yeah.
it was only 8 days after his father died.
Oh my
Oh,
God. I did not know
Yeah.
that.
So there was a bit of sort of foreshadowing there, because like Katano kind of contradicts Braytak. So when Tilk fights Katano later, it's Katano's overcommitment that gets him killed.
Yeah.
And I believe Dan Shea had a hand in choreographing
Oh, I'm sure.
the fight scenes in this episode. And Rick Worthy actually mentioned that Dan had a great eye for this kind of action. Nice blocking.
Mm.
Yeah, it's no biggie. It's got a
Yeah.
symbiote. Okay, so this bit coming up when he calls him Stick Boy and he moves this away, it totally reminds me of Han Solo in Return of the Jedi, where he
Yeah.
asked that Ewok to point that weapon someplace
Someplace
else.
else. Yeah. He's just pissed.
Yep.
I'm actually playing Star Wars Outlaws at the moment, the new game that Ubisoft released, and I take back every bad thing I said about that because the game slaps.
Really? Really? I've
yeah,
been
it's really
enjoying
good.
watching some of the bugs online. There's some
The
pretty funny
bugs have
ones.
not really been an
Yeah.
issue for me at all, so
I'm glad to
it's,
hear it.
Yeah, it's good.
I was going to say as well, I believe Rick Worthy mentioned in his Dial the Gate interview that this episode actually inspired him to try capoeira, which is what this martial arts is based on. But he said
It's
he
a
only
Filipino.
lost one class because it was really tough.
It's really tough, yeah.
Yeah.
Stand on that box, boy.
Urius Tosh said, I agree with these points. That's why it should have been a longer arc. Yeah, I'm glad people agree that he should have had a longer arc.
Randall Wong, ask your doctor if Tritonin is right for you.
We don't have those kinds of adverts in the UK.
Well, you're
Like,
missing something very special.
No, we don't.
I was
either,
gonna say.
really.
Like your doctor recommends you stuff in this country, so
Ooh. They like doing that. True
Yeah.
weapons.
They do.
this woman in the green dress on the side, that's a really nice dress. Did she buy that from like TK Maxx
Like
or something?
Jafar Chic.
Yeah. Lol.
Yeah.
What a line.
So, like, he's given SG-1 credit for taking down a bunch of Goa'ul's, but, like, he's not entirely accurate. So, SG-1 did kill Ra, Hathor, and Satesh, but the others are, like, a lot more complicated. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't
Yeah.
actually kill Apophis the first time, they just let him die.
But it's nice flattery, and he got them in sequence.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
As
But
long
yeah,
as
he
it's
might
really
need like a
big
bit
number.
of a he might need a fact checker.
Well, it's that whole like, history is written by the people who like survived. So they're the ones that survived the situations. They went back home, were like, yeah, we killed Apophis. He didn't die on his own.
Exactly.
Yep, we did it. Thank us. I always wondered why it took so
Yes, I
long for
love
Teal'c
this.
to adapt to P90.
Yeah.
What, Evie? You said this what?
I was just gonna say, I love the weapons demonstration scene.
Oh, for sure. I think Teal'c didn't generally carry a P90 because they wanted to continue to show that he was distinctive. So
Yeah.
he stands apart from them.
So, David, I think you and Rob Fournier discussed the tree scene
Yes.
coming up on Dial the Gate. Rob remembered it well because Amanda Tapping had asked for a P90 refresher course that day.
Yep.
And he explained that the P90's design, with its downward ejection and small rounds, made it perfect for the scene.
Yep.
And despite the bullet's high penetration rate, their small size prevented like visible damage to the tree. And Rob actually praised Amanda's perfect execution of single shots during filming. That's pretty badass.
I think I recall asking him what did he actually use to disintegrate the tree. I don't remember getting a really good answer.
Yeah, I don't remember that bit either. Doesn't he mean die tree?
Die tree.
Die
Oh, the dad jokes. That's funny though.
I hate this.
The female.
Oh, you just
Yeah.
Ugh.
I love her sly smiles. Like she doesn't like.
No, she doesn't need to. Her work speaks for itself.
I love it. Yeah, I love it so much.
I love that
in the
Jack's
skirt.
like,
The skirt.
my girl can do it. I'm gonna get this guy to make it more difficult to show how talented
Exactly.
this member of my team / my
He's
boo
just got
is.
so much faith in her. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're standing awfully close to the target area.
yeah.
They really are.
What I said,
Yeah.
the health and safety just doesn't matter unless you're on Earth. Like they just don't care. Now, I feel like the Jafar, like some of the sexism kind of comes out a bit and it annoys me, but I'm fully blaming him being a Gould and having like a very vile attitude towards women.
I mean, even Teal'c was like, "Woman, be silent."
Yeah, that's my issue with
that's
Teal'c.
true.
Don't get me
Yeah, that's
started. Don't get
true.
me started on that one again. I love Teal'c so much, but yeah,
So-
that was
So
hard for me.
coming
That
up,
is so cool. I love that.
it is really cool.
Smile.
So coming up when Jack is talking about the P90, as he calls it a weapon of war, he accidentally points it at Amanda Tapping, and you can actually see her visibly flinch. Yeah, there. Her
Oh
eyes
wow.
flood. Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to aim it at other people,
No.
are you?
No, of course not.
It was kind of like not fully aimed at her. It was kind of like it like toward her, but a bit off. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It'd just be
directly at her,
it'd just be
but still.
an automatic reaction.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's very realistic, and you know who you are. There we go.
Yeah.
You can just see the gold in him, just like seething, just being like, ugh.
Exactly.
I've got to
So,
listen to a woman. I've got to talk to these pesky humans.
Yeah, they like doing
So
that.
I didn't do my introduction to Rick Worthy before. So as we mentioned, I think at the start of the show or before the show, he played Simon the Cylon in Battlestar Galactica.
Yep.
And he also had multiple Star Trek roles.
Yes,
He
Automated
played
Personnel
5
Unit
different characters
3947
across,
was my favorite.
14 episodes, I think.
Yep.
And more recently,
Insurrection.
Oh, okay.
And he was in Supernatural.
More
Yes.
recently, he was Dean Fogg in The Magicians for 41 episodes, and he also appeared in the Gossip Girl revival.
Ah.
On a personal note,
I didn't watch that. I
I
love Gossip
first saw him in While You Were Sleeping. He has like a scene with Sandra Bullock. He's like a hospital orderly,
Amazing.
and that kind of stuck with me. That was like his 3rd or 4th role ever.
Yep. I really do love Rick Worthy. He just has such a good voice.
Oh,
Yep.
the charisma. Yep.
He's got one of those voices, like again, I've said this before. I want Audible, like call this man, get him to
Please,
Do
yes.
some books.
Yeah.
Audio
or a
books would
phone
be
book.
amazing.
Or a phone
Yeah,
book,
anything.
To those of you
really.
who are
He
young
could
people,
read
it was
me
a book
anything.
with phone numbers in it. So
I used a phone book once to find my friend because I was going to see her, but I forgot where her house was.
once.
So I had to do that. Hey, look,
Once,
I
not
used
for
it.
years.
I used it in 2004. Okay.
This is a great argument here. Change our ways to suit yours. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of issues and like boundaries with like merging cultures and being friends with other people.
Yeah.
And I find that this is a very interesting way to look at it in the show. Because
Mm.
obviously it's like, these people are all fighting for the same thing, but when you come from different cultures, there's gonna be beef.
So he's just mentioned Nirti as a system lord, and she lost her status a while back, so it kind of sounds like he's working on some outdated information.
That's entirely possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it was just a slip up.
Maybe.
Which is why I don't say much. Spoils are good. Well, if they're
We like
arming
spoils.
them,
Yeah.
then 10-15% is adequate, I would think. You require several hours of sleep.
Dan Ben said, I know Gossip Girl is some American show, never seen it. Blake Lively was in it. That's like how she got real big.
She's in the original, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
not the
they've
new
done like
one.
a revival, and that's
the
what he's
revival
in.
got cancelled after 2 seasons, but he's in
Yeah.
the revival, which I didn't see because the original was better.
Urias Tosh, Chris Judge invited some guys from his gem for this one. Is that true?
You should, if he didn't,
Know about that.
Wouldn't surprise
missed
me
out.
if that's
It's
true.
entirely possible, yeah.
World Rally Family.
Another new
Absolutely
person.
seething.
Katano.
Katana.
Yeah.
Hello, World Rally Family.
Hello, hello. We Died said that he was the alpha vampire in Supernatural. He was. He was.
Interesting.
Rick Worthy got around. Good for
Yeah,
him.
he's done quite a few big shows.
Yeah.
So
now
I know
Ragnar is thanking Teal'c again.
Yeah. So I know David doesn't have the sound on, but in a minute when Katano enters, you can actually hear like the sound of the wind, which I think is like a really cool touch because it's like he's bringing the winds of change.
Oh, I
Like,
can hear that. I can hear it. Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
That tickled my ear.
Yeah. I also wanted to mention Katano's footwear. So apparently Rick Worthy was very particular about his character's shoes, and he wanted footwear that would let him walk with confidence, dignity, and power, but also be able to whip some ass, which is a direct quote.
Beautiful direct quote. Oh, he said what? I don't know why. I love when
know, it's
people
gorgeous.
do the what. You know,
What?
like
Hammond
what?
says that a lot too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't think
love it.
I don't think he's wrong. You know,
No.
you welcome allies, but
Yeah.
we do some things differently.
Yeah.
So you can
I think
either
it's all
get
about
on
respecting each other's differences.
Right.
You know?
And like I guess cultures to a certain respect as well.
Yeah.
I do
you
think that
woman,
sometimes. I do think sometimes with the with SG-1 they do, especially Jack will go into a culture and just be like, wow, this is
Yeah.
rough. I'm like, chill, bro, chill. You know, like this is not your culture.
Mm.
So we've got another person, Marco Maldini. Hello.
Says
Who are
hello.
these people?
These are new people.
Hi.
Hello, new people.
Hello.
And World Rally Family, David loved the show. Watch all the episodes. Thank you very much. Please continue.
Aw.
Proceed.
Yeah, and welcome Randall Wong as well. Thank you so much for coming.
We
and
do
everyone
have
else, thank you for coming
people
back.
who just lurk, and it's nice to see them every now and then.
Yeah.
And
lurk away. I
also
love
the new
lurking.
people.
Yes.
Sleeping with candles lit. It's real safe.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just glad that they haven't separated them like they did in like Emancipation, where Sam was like in a tent on her own, which doesn't seem very safe.
What does she call it? A yerk that smells like rancid yak.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
butter.
Yeah.
That actually looked to be a composite of a cargo ship and the great big pyramid from the Giant Aliens episode.
The giant.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
Actually, speaking of
Crystal
sorry.
Skull. Go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of sets, I think, didn't you say on Dial the Gate that you sold some of the like the diagrams or something of the set on PropWorks for this episode? The tents.
Yes, we did.
That's cool.
And a he flipped over. A photo spread of the gold of the Jaffa encampment.
Oh, cool.
Oh, here
Look at
we
this
go.
guy.
This is like, it's either
So
arrogance
dramatic.
or like,
It's ghoul
yeah,
No,
yeah, it is
drama.
very
stupid.
It's
stupid.
goa'uld
Yeah.
drama, you know? It's what they do.
Yeah.
You
I
got to
see,
do
this
something
is hard time
outlandish to be.
buying.
Yeah.
You know, if they're like, you're coming in. All of those guys would be like, I am taking that MFR down. Look at
This
that
is
arrogance.
the moment where I was like, nah, nah,
Really?
nah,
Really?
yeah.
Also, guys, there's a bit of a goof coming up, so keep an eye on this guy's staff weapon. So it jumps from Kitano's chest to further away and then back again between shots. So it like touches it.
Hello. Yeah.
And then a second ago, it's further away and then it switches back to touching it. So I guess it looks like the editors had
Yeah.
their work cut out for them.
Ha ha. Ha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
Is it just me, or these scenes kind of have a different color? Like, I don't know whether it was because of the time of day that they were
Lockwatcher
filmed,
has
or
literally
if
said the
they've
color is
put-
great. It looks like they're on a
Yeah.
different planet when they're probably 20
Yeah.
feet away from the Jafar camp.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So I think they
Color
put a
grading
filter
does
on
a
it
lot of
in
it.
order
Uh-huh.
to change the color to make it look like a different world.
Mm.
So yeah, you're basically right. Pointing that out.
There
But
we go. It's all
everyone's
bright
yaying,
again.
wooing.
Yep. They're the woo people.
God, look at these like kilt wearing men, you know? Like
Oh, that one's very short.
yeah, it is very short.
It's very Scottish.
But
Yeah.
he has nice legs, so he can pull it off.
I once paid my friend £10 when we were doing something called a sponsored walk at school, where
Oh, yep.
we take a day to walk around and like do a long walk, and that's the day at school for like 6 hours. And I had a friend who was wearing a kilt, and I was like, I'll pay you 10 quid to do this whole sponsored walk in this cold with no shirt. And I don't think he was wearing underwear underneath either, so I was
Oh
like
gosh.
Oh my
adding to the
God.
cold.
Yeah.
So-
No. Too much.
Well,
Too much contact.
You're not
there.
supposed to wear underwear traditionally with kilts anyway.
Yeah, but
So-
who says he's traditional?
think it's
He's
wearer's
doing you
choice.
a favor. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't ask him about the underwear off. I said just the shirt. He just happened to not be wearing underwear either. So it was like, the
Well,
whole
that's
combination.
on him.
Your
That
boys
is on
need a
him.
house.
Yes, they do.
You got
so
10
I
quid
think
out of it,
this,
though,
Thomas
so-
could walk on water.
I think this scene coming up, according to Rick Worthy, this was the first scene that they shot. So during filming, he said that he caught Christopher Judge subtly approving his performance with a brief head nod, and you can actually see it in this. And afterwards, Chris told Rick he'd done a good job. And I think he said that Chris was very welcoming and respectful during filming.
Mhm.
No, I like that. I like he's telling like the guys working with for like 5 years, oh, you've done a good job. I like that.
Yeah. I think he gave him his phone number as well, like pretty early on in filming,
Yeah, I
which
wouldn't
is
be
really
surprised
sweet.
if you have any
can see because you can
questions.
see him nodding there. You can see him
Yeah.
like nodding and smiling.
Well, it works with the scene. you know?
Exactly. That's what Rick Worthy said.
But if they fail.
Yeah, if their cause was just, they'll succeed. Yeah, it doesn't quite work.
It doesn't work that way. Yeah, this is the little megalomaniacal
I just realized what you
part
said.
coming
I was
out.
like, "What are you talking about?" With her telling, like, with you saying him telling Ricky did a good job. I was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Oh, you mean Rick Worthy, not Richard Dean Anderson."
Right.
Yeah, that's
Also
why
Rick.
I've been calling
Yes.
him
My
by his full
brain
name.
got so
Yeah, that's why I've been
confused.
calling him
Right.
Rick Worthy. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. I was like, "What?" Good. I was like, "That was weird." That's why I laughed. I was like, "But no, it's nice." So isn't this like oh god, this is actually mental what they do here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Suicide
when
bombers.
they send
Yeah,
Teal
exactly.
to go do it, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he go to you?
Yes.
Nirti, I think, is
Lord
the
Yu,
first
yeah.
target, and then
Yeah.
you.
Then you.
So
Just another reason why Yu's the best, because he sends Teal back instead of
yeah,
killing
it
him.
does. So if I'm not mistaken, I think this was the scene Rick Worthy did as his audition. So he said that during the audition, even though Kitano's standing, the casting director actually asked him to do it sitting down. And they asked him that he like sort of needed to put a lot more power into his voice, and he took that as a cue to kind of balance intimacy and authority.
Mm.
Weapons grade Naquita.
But considering that this episode was filmed around 9/11, this is tough that they're doing
This is
suicide
poor
bombers.
timing
That
on
is
that
tough.
part.
Yeah.
I think it's the a part. Yeah, it's.
The
I think it
unfortunate
just does the job even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is before the Iraq War started.
Speaking of like 9/11, Battlestar Galactica was like a big reason why it came together was because of 9/11. Another thing that Rick Worthy was in. So yeah.
Yeah. This is like off topic, but you can see the hairs on RDA's ear. They're quite long. on his
An
earlobe.
ear trimmer, darling. Marco Maldini said a huge thought to Andy Nadefo. Yeah, we've been like mourning him all night. It's pretty frustrating. And sad. Oof. Oh, he's so handsome.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Braytac.
Love it.
Yeah, I love that. What? It's quite grand.
It is very grand. When somebody starts
Yeah.
whenning, hooing. Oh, hooing works anyway. You know what I mean, though.
Who? Yeah.
It's for some reason it just makes me think of like someone's grander and bigger. You know, it adds. Oof. What really frustrates me is
he's really
Teal'c's
torn.
blind acceptance.
Yeah, he's just really torn because he wants
This is
this
his dream.
this
He has
rebellion
been working
to go
for this
well,
for
and he
5
has been
years.
exactly.
And here
and
it's
kind of
happening.
finally coming into fruition.
That's right. You
Also,
cannot just let it go.
is he using like a Jafar knife as a pointer? Like,
Yep.
it's kind of like an interesting choice, but like, I guess I couldn't find a laser pointer at like a Jafar supply store.
Nope.
Just
Nope. They
You've
were
got to
all
use
out.
what you have.
That's it.
be grateful he's not using that weird torture stick that they use, and he's like sparking.
I
up
don't
the
know.
paper.
This is kind of almost as bad because it's like for the symbiote, isn't it? This is what they stab them with.
I think it's a very similar one. The symbiote one is shorter and wider, I believe, but I don't know. It looks like it, but it looks
like it because it's
smaller.
like two pronged.
Maybe that's just the vibe of all their knives.
Yeah, maybe.
A little early, Braytac. Give it 3 more years and you'll be ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
You need the help of some bugs.
Ah. I actually can't believe I think this whole thing makes me angry at Teal'c because of the level of just stupidity, because they know that the previous guy was going on a suicide run. So sending Teal'c on the next one where he's going to get got by you, and he knows that this guy just like sends everyone on a suicide run, it's mental to me. Absolutely mental. I can't deal
But he has
with
to
it.
see it for himself.
I know.
It's a good thing you pick you because you.
Well, that's it.
This is why I love you.
Yeah.
He's a little
You
bit
is
softer.
the goodest boy in the galaxy.
I love
you know?
you too, Nicole.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just think that he's always the sensible one, ironically. He's the only one that opposes Anubis. He's the only one that that actually listens to reason, and instead of just going in guns blazing, he tends to be let's wait, let's analyze this a little bit.
Yeah.
I know he's a bit old and losing it because of the sarcophagus, but
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Ugh.
So,
Katano.
Rick Worthy had like an interesting take on like Katano's cape thing that he's wearing. So, he kind of saw it as more of a like an extension of his character rather than just a prop.
Godliness. Yeah.
So, Rick Worthy, that is, said he used it deliberately to kind of punctuate Katano's words and actions, particularly in this scene. Because he's like kind of like pulling on it quite tight, and then when he turns around, it's sort of more like loosely flowing.
Mm.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
It's
look at
just
it,
a
look at it
different master.
flowing.
That's all the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing that's really frustrating is that, and this is why when they have the Free Jafar Nation in season 9, and they actually have, they're trying to have the whole diplomacy thing and having lots of different people on a council is good. But then they get like Garrick, and he's kind of a knob.
That's
so.
right.
Yeah, Garrick.
And I guess the distinction also is that the Goa'uld are dead. There is no one to commit suicide against.
Yes,
So
that's true.
There is a factor there. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's kind of out of your control though, buddy. You're going into a situation you don't know anything about.
I mean, he does it every day for SG-1, I guess, because a lot of the time they go in
But he's
blind
got
and stuff. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my second in command. That sounds like First Prime. Imhotep, you suspicious man.
All those guys
Glorious.
are about to die.
Beautiful.
I love that
man.
everyone just fights over having Teal'c as their first prime. They just love him so much. They're like, oh.
Well, he makes him look good.
Yeah.
So, let's be honest.
It's like having a really good trophy, you know, which is really sad because everyone just wants Teal'c as their trophy guard. That's the one thing I really liked about the Continuum film, actually, the fact that Baal, like in his manipulation of time, gets Teal'c.
Yes.
I sat there and I was like, he's gonna do it. Like when I was a kid, I watched it and I went, oh, he's gonna have him, and he did. And I was like, that's terrible, but like convenient for him.
Great cameo here.
I love
It really
you.
is. Yeah, it is good.
I wonder if they shot this at the same time that.
Oh yeah,
Daniel
the previous
There's
episode.
the new Lotar back
Hey,
there.
there's the new Daniel, yeah.
Yes. So there was an interesting discussion on Reddit about Yu's motives for releasing Teal'c, and Nicole kind of touched on this a second ago. So many fans thought it wasn't a strategic move, but rather the actions of a Goa'uld like slowly losing his battle with dementia. But another person suggested a different take. They proposed that Yu's decision was very calculated, and by revealing Katano as a Goa'uld, you could like demoralize the rebellion and create distrust amongst its members.
Yeah.
I saw this as a combination, you know, like Yu knows, you know, the SGC and Earth and Teal'c.
Yeah.
He knows what these people are about. And he wants Katano off. Like he's sick of this guy.
But he
like,
also
he's going to
doesn't-
start causing problems. So.
That's exactly. But the surprising thing is he doesn't plug the Stargate. He allows them to leave. You know, so he
exactly
doesn't
what I was
get
gonna
a busy
say.
signal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had
I don't
every
think
opportunity
Yu
to block it.
is a monster. I think that he just wants to stay in his corner of the galaxy and just live his
Just
life.
be alone. Well, I
Maybe,
mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
To a degree.
The Chinese play the long game.
Yes.
I just really like the way that they did this. I think that Yu will forever be my favorite Goa'uld in terms of just likability.
I can
you know?
understand.
Like,
yeah.
I respect
you,
his decision.
You kind of love to hate Baal as well, but
I'll always have a special place in my heart for Baal.
Yeah.
You is something special. Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
Can't talk. Gotta run.
Yeah, honestly, it was quite weird.
Gotta kill.
The way he just pops through and just goes.
Follow me. Follow me. Thanks for the update.
You see, he didn't expect him to come back, and it's like, mate,
No.
like Imhotep doesn't realize how deep in like they are with you, and like how
Yeah. So his intel
smart
is like
Yu
way
is.
off, like I said
Yeah.
before.
There you go.
So they do something quite special with this fight scene. So I believe they use like circular track and shooting at a higher frame rate to capture all the action.
Yeah,
sort of
he was
very
inspired by the Matrix.
inspired. Yeah.
Why don't we fight this out once we get to the other planet after everyone
Yeah,
is
no, gotta do
safe?
it now.
But no, we got to do
Well,
it
exactly.
now.
We've got to do it right now, here
Right
and
now.
now.
Jomar Sekou. We should add that to the trivia.
I'm sure I've used it at some point. Maybe not.
I definitely would have forgotten. I will definitely forget if it comes up again. So if you
I was
don't
going to
already
say, yeah,
convince me.
I won't remember.
No. Oh.
Does
He's
kind of look
already,
like they're yeah, it looks like
I
they're
will say, it's
fighting
got
with
that
those like
heightened Goa'uld
giant
strength.
wooden novelty
Yeah.
spoons that you see in like
Yeah.
people's kitchens in like the 70s.
Ah, cool shot. So
It is very cool.
Rick Worthy was a practicer of Taekwondo at this point.
Yes.
And so he was, most of this stuff is him.
That's so
Brilliant.
cool.
Ooh, Shova.
So there's a bit of a goof coming up. You'll notice Tilk on the ground next to his broken staff, but that's actually before it gets broken in the fight. So see, it's like it's
yes, there it
broken,
is.
but then when he
Yeah.
gets up, it's fully healed again.
They just use the latest
So
shot.
basically,
Yeah.
the Stargate staff should have noticed that the staff snapped before the staff snapped.
Yvie!
Ah.
Yvie, it's too early in the morning for you to
I
be
know,
putting that
and I
stuff
think
into
I
the
actually
world.
messed that up. So
Oh, I see the shots now. Very good. Yeah. You do the best that you can in the edit. Yeah, I don't think so, Tim.
yeah.
I feel really bad that like Teal'c always ends up in a situation with like
Here we go.
bad Jafar. What? Oh,
And Bad Gold.
awesome. But he always ends up like in this situation where he's like covered in blood and getting all stabby. You know,
Yeah.
season 10 it comes
So-
to mind.
David, I think you made a really interesting point on
Me?
Dial the Gate about Katano's downfall. You said he was basically peacocking so much that it became his weakness.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the Goa'uld ego kind of got the better of him, and
Yeah.
Tilk was like able to overcome him quite easily.
Yeah.
Where did he stab him?
He just stabbed him right
Yeah,
in
no,
the
but where?
right in the Goa'uld. Oh, actually, no,
That's
he
not-
doesn't have a
No, that would
pouch.
be in the- that would be in
Exactly, that's what
neck.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because he doesn't do it like properly in the pouch because
He doesn't have a
yeah.
pouch.
Yeah, exactly. Because like Teal'c would have aimed for the chest, knowing that it wasn't the pouch. Yeah, I remember that detail. Exactly. Boom.
So so Ragnar heard the voice then. Otherwise, it's like, why would he bother to check?
Mm,
Or he saw the glowing eyes.
yeah.
Now can we leave?
It is a really cool idea that a Gould was like, hey, you know what? I can double down on this, get some power using these lower people.
Mm-hmm.
And Marco Maldini said, thank you for the show. I'll leave you there 10:50 p.m. in France. See you soon. That's okay. We'll be starting an hour sooner when fall/winter rolls around.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
you know,
Leave
couple
your
months.
leave your rating. 1 is awful. 7 is amazing.
Yeah, 1
Yeah,
through 7.
and
we
we,
do things by 7 chevrons, no halvesies. So,
Yes, and we
halvesies.
look forward to seeing you again soon, hopefully.
There we go.
Yeah.
Got some bombs. That is gasoline blowing up.
Does the trick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll all go that way. That's fine.
Yep.
Guys,
I think you
dial
like letting
Stargate
them off pretty
first.
easy.
Yeah, I think so too. He's just destroying the camp.
Yeah, he is.
So, yeah.
I just love Lord Yu. He's a good guy.
As he blows them up. He's such a good guy.
Good guy. Good guy. But you know what?
They'll be
It's
able
like
to
the
put in a
lesser
claim.
of all evils.
Yeah.
Is Ragnar carrying a child? What
Probably.
a guy.
Yeah.
What a damn hero.
I love
him so much.
shots like that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It is cool.
The spenny shots.
So I like this kind of like, it's not really an apology, but kind of it's Braytak's way of saying,
Yep.
sorry, I didn't do a pouch inspection before recommending this guy.
That's a really easy security protocol to implement.
It really is. Show us your
Yeah.
stomach. So, some Redditors had some interesting takes on this episode. One pointed out that it tackled themes of fanaticism and ends justifies the means, though Imhotep was a kind of being a Goa'uld sort of weakened that message. And another suggested that Imhotep might have been playing the long game and manipulating the Jafar rebellion to maintain power, even as he foresaw the Goa'uld's downfall. And a third view was that the episode really hammered home the Jafar's importance, showing that they were the Goa'uld's true military strength.
Yep.
And I wanted to add as well that I believe Rick Worthy was actually a big fan of Stargate before he starred in this episode, and he said it was one of his top 5 jobs of all time.
I'm not
Aw.
surprised.
Yeah.
One bit. Yeah. When he tears up when he talks about the character, you know there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in touch with
The character
Rick
represents
since, and he's just a great
so
guy.
much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was the Warrior. Whoops. Alrighty, folks.
Got a new person, or I think
New
Chibi
people?
Me. Hello, and more
Chibi
people.
me. Absolutely.
Hello.
If you enjoyed the episode, please click the
Are
like
you a
button.
lurker? You hear that? Yes.
I
give a
think
like,
we've had
please.
Chibi Me before.
I was
Yeah?
going to say, I think we've seen Chibi Me before,
Hmm.
and like, just haven't seen you much. Hello, hello. Um, what an episode.
Mhm.
I have, I've never loved the Warrior that much. I think only because I think that it would just smell too fishy from the beginning, and I think that it
It's
would
a
have
fishy
been
smell.
that fishy smell. It's the gourd. He's gone off. He's gone a bit off in there.
Well, sci-fi and storytelling is synonymous with all is not as it seems.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
that's the thing. Yeah, you're right, and I think that I would have appreciated this arc being longer. I think my rating's going to be lower based on that.
Okay.
But I don't know what I'm going to rate it.
I'll rate it. It's a 5.
Mm.
Almost a 6. Should be a 6. It's a 5 for me. Rick Worthy is 90% of that. He's just extraordinary. I love the warning, the still of beware of false prophets. Because you can just be absolutely hoodwinked into someone else's war, and that's basically what happens there. So it's but his performance says it all. Peter DeLuise's directing is fantastic in it. The fight sequence is great. The banter between the characters is great. Yu's cameo, it really elevates the episode in terms of the continued layers of the show, harkening back, as well as Obi and Defoe's Ragnar, whom we got to see once again. And the target practice scene. It's solid.
Yes. Hey, you in the skirt. Can't
you
beat
in the
it.
skirt. Get that target swinging a little. Funny stuff.
A little more. Yes, good.
Did you want to go, Nicole?
Yeah, I was sitting between a 4 and a 5 on this one, and you know what I'm thinking? We don't do halvesies, so I'm saying a 4.5, and that's goes up to a 5, doesn't it? So yeah, I think I'm a 5.
If in doubt, go up.
Yeah, I think that this episode is not one of my favorites, but I think it represents a lot of important things, and it really shows the level of organization that Jafar have finally gotten to after so many years of just hope. Like I still think back to that moment when I think was it beginning of season 3, end of season 2, when Teal'c's doing that big speech, and then there's like 3 Jafar who are like, yeah, we're with you, bro, and Hammond's like, not much of a rebellion, is it? And I was like, oh. And I think back to that moment and like how far they've come.
They've come far.
I think it's really special to see that.
The time frame is realistic.
Because the show
8
wasn't
years.
cancelled. They had time to grow, and so the payoff's going to be great when we get there. Yu is one of my favorites. I love seeing him. The only reason this is not higher, I think, is we didn't get more Rick Worthy. I would have loved that. I would have loved for him to be a bit of a Tanith. I think this is a solid 5 for me. And Ragnar, may Obi rest in peace.
I know.
Vince Cristello is another one I've tried to get on the show. I have no contact
Yeah, that would be
info
so
for him.
good.
I would be willing to pay him some money to come on, and it's like I can't.
I'd be willing to pay you money
get
to pay him to get on.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll all chip in.
Right. I can't get a hold of him. He's no longer with his
you can
agent.
only do what you can do. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, he's just one of my favorite characters. So.
Yep.
I think he's great. I think I would also be giving this a 5. I was just sort of mulling it over in my head as we were finishing up the episode, and I don't think it's quite a 6 for me. I do very much enjoy it. I think, as both of you have said, the inclusion of Rick Worthy it just takes it to like a new level. And I think he does a fantastic job of that character. The charisma is there, and you think he's just too good to be true, and it turns out he is. It would have been good to have him in future episodes, but I also do appreciate that they didn't drag it out like a Tanith kind of situation, because that kind of fizzled.
I wish we got at least
probably
2.
due to the actor's availability, but yeah, it just sort of fizzled off, and I wouldn't have liked that for this character. So he definitely made an impact in his single episode.
Absolutely, 100%.
I really liked the weapon practice scene. I think that's fantastic because Sam is just proving what a kick-ass she is. Just I love her so much. And Jack being very supportive and um
I get to work with this person
yeah,
daily.
exactly. And is like, look how awesome this person is that I work with. Yeah, it just is really good to see. And
Sam and
yeah,
Jack ship a moment for sure.
oh, I know. And just seeing Obi sad is sad, but it's
He
really
will
good to
be
see his
immortal
talent.
in this show.
Exactly.
That's-
100%.
I want to go watch Dawson's Creek now. See him
I may
cook
have
up
to
a
watch
storm.
it. The only thing that I know from that show is the meme with Dawson.
The crying.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think I
Oh,
could
so good.
handle it, honestly. I think it's just going to
Oh,
be
it's
too
so
much angst
cringy.
for me.
I
Yeah.
love Dawson's Creek.
Yeah,
I watched it
cringy
when I was
angst.
at the most angsty part of my life when I was like 15, and oh man.
See,
And
I
Obi
think
was
that's
just
the age you need to be.
yeah, Obi was just this nice, this perfectly nice guy. Like he's just a good egg, He's a good guy,
Mm.
and he's a chef, and he loves his partner. It's nice.
I've got to ask, was the creek on Dawson's property?
So there's a creek that runs through the town,
And it's Dawson's.
and it's
He claims it?
no. Just it's on Dawson's house is on the creek, but so is Joey's, and him and Joey have like this friendship that encompasses most of the show. So he can get in a little rowboat and row up the creek to see Joey, and they can go back and forth because they both live on the creek.
So it's really Dawson's part of the creek.
Yeah, it's just the town's
Right.
creek. It's the
Yeah,
creek, and
okay.
actually,
Okay.
spoiler for the
So
last episode.
Dawson
what's-
is like they're creek adjacent.
Yeah.
What's the spoiler of the last
right.
episode? Did they
So-
name it
so,
for
like,
this creek?
No, so he has this obsession with like Steven Spielberg, and he wants to work with him one day because he's a big movie buff guy, and I love that. And he starts becoming like a TV show writer and director, and so he
he
finally
does?
makes a TV show in the last
Called
episode
Dawson's
called
Creek.
The Creek. No, The Creek.
The creek? Oh,
Oh, the creek. Okay. Okay. Very
which I
meta.
love. But
Yeah.
Obi's great in the show, and I think that that what I liked is his. I wish he was in the show more, but he is a part of the family. But obviously, they just didn't need him in every episode because he's not an angsty character that's causing trouble. He's just a good.
He's
solid
too stable for
parent. he's a
sitcom?
stable
frequent guest star role.
Drama?
Yeah. He's a
Yep.
stable parent to like Joey, who's like it's her it's her brother-in-law, but he's like a parent to her in a way.
Okay,
And
like almost like a brother figure.
Yeah, but also
Or
this
like a
town
parent,
has like
yeah.
only white people in it, so there's like a kind of a storyline
There's a
about that
racial
with
element.
like with a
Right.
racist grandmother,
Mhm.
but then you actually find out some of the truth behind that, and it kind of adds to that. They
Gives
did
it
have
dimension.
yeah, they had so many white people actually. They needed Obi to bring some other people in because like Jesus, it was only him, and they didn't have him
It's the
enough.
90s.
They should have had him more.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know, shame.
Sci-fi
Whatever.
was well ahead of that. So, all right.
Yeah.
So that's everyone. Did everyone's good? Yeah.
I've
So,
got to do it now. I've
go
got to
ahead.
do the ratings. I didn't do it. I'm on an Obi rant. Urias Tosh said 6. Only reason it isn't a 7 is it deserved a season-long arc for Tano. I agree, to a degree. Candy Mitch 7. Ooh. Anthony, it's a 5 for me. Chibi Me 5. Gecko Fett 5. World Rally Family Strong 5. Jed Ted 5. Dan Ben 5. Gene Diada another 3 for me. Not a favorite of mine. No, I think some of these episodes are getting like we're getting some of the lesser ones for me. Shimmering Victoria 4. Lockwatcher said this is a 5. Rick Worthy was great. Almost wanted him to escape and return in future episodes. Then again, I
he's
also
definitely
like the
dead.
took him out. Yeah, definitely dead.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. And I'm being asked, is pumpkin spice popular over here? Yes, it becomes a thing in the fall. Don't you worry, we got it. We got it, Lockwatcher.
Yes, I made the most of it while I was over there.
Yep. I just bought my milled cider candles this afternoon, and as soon as it gets a little bit colder, I'm lighting those babies. They make my house
Everyone's
smell great.
saying really nice things, and Lockwatcher said, David, watch out for Bigfoot while camping.
Bears, not Bigfoot. Bears.
Jet
Bears,
said
yeah.
Dawson's Creek is the something parody. I'm not saying what the word is on here. But yeah. There was actually a parody. Apparently, the guy James Vanderbeek was going through security with a tape of the not safe for work version of Dawson's Creek, and apparently he got like caught by security for carrying that through with him. So that was quite
Oh,
funny.
really?
Dawson's other kind of C ending with a K. Okay, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
You're on C ending with a K, aren't you?
I think it was
Okay.
was it called Dawson's Crack or something? Or
Yeah,
something like that.
Okay, you said
Yeah.
it. Okay. All right, guys. We appreciate you being with us today. This was pretty awesome. We are going to be gone. I am going to be gone now. Are you going to be out too, Nicole?
No, I'm good.
or is
I'm free.
No
It's you
Bulgaria
guys
trips.
that are busy.
Okay.
No, don't.
No, I'm not busy.
I don't want to see.
Well, then
I
I'm
don't wanna
busy
Bulgaria.
because
Obviously.
I'm going to be
You're busy.
in Glacier National Park. So we will be back with you Sunday, September the 15th.
Well, I didn't
Yes,
actually realize that Jet
indeedy.
Ted said Dawson's Crack, not Creek. I was trying to avoid saying
exactly.
the other word.
Oh,
that he avoided
okay.
saying.
Menace and the Sentinel will be September the 15th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And we appreciate you tuning in. All our best to Obi and Defo's family and friends.
Yes.
And we appreciate you.
God, it feels weird talking about that
spending
parody
time with us
right
today.
around the Obi and Nadefo stuff. I'm so sorry.
Well, then don't make it a big deal.
Rest in peace.
There you go.
We love you.
Yes.
We miss you.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.